It's not that great of a party.
It's an alright. It's an alright party.
There's just a single sad ball pit in the corner. Nobody's in there.
Party!
I mean, do you want to go in the ball pit? Lord knows what happened in that ball pit.
Never.
It's a ball pit of lost souls.
And
I
body
had a friend who
fluids.
made a ball pit in his home.
It's an entire room.
He like sectioned off a room and just bought a lot of balls.
That's not really making a ball pit.
Honestly, I couldn't hear Raymond. The music was playing, and the music climaxed, ended to, I bought a lot of balls.
Hello everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our live stream Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition online role-playing adventures. We stream our sessions live on YouTube every Friday evening. Watch all of our D&D live series as well as reviews and Let's Plays on my YouTube channel. Read weekly session recaps at roguewatson.com. You can follow me on Twitter at roguewatson and join our official Discord channel with invite link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, please go to patreon.com/roguewatson. Shoutouts to Platinum patrons Joe, Will, Tiny Dancer, Manuel, Wizard, Princess, Christopher, Star Lovely, Thomas, Ian, Captain Mike, Jeremy, Adam, Leroy, and Goblin Works. And gold patrons RPG, Paper Crafts, Charming Grenade, Pretty Boy, Numa, Marcos, Dave Vicente, Gilberto, Dead Lizard, Lounge, Sam, Ross, Limpy Spuds, Jerome, Fatboy 619, Skilly Nick, Friday McButterman's Blood Angel, Vernos, Fireworks Factory, and Baboon. Welcome new patrons, Goblin Works, Baboon, and Jacob. Thank you all very much for your support. Exhale.
Dear Lord.
Oh my god, is the name really Baboon? Because that's pretty freaking awesome.
I would think as
Chris.
a former wind player, you could do better than that. So, that makes sense.
Brass, yes, that's true. It's been a while.
Wind instruments.
It's been a while.
I'm Chris, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined by our awesome players. Reese playing the Warforged War Cleric, Tim.
I'm musically illiterate.
Raymond playing
I've never actually heard a song before.
I don't know why that's funny. I don't know how to read music, so
every single one of you has to give us a shameful secret as your intro.
I'm sorry. What just happened? Why did that just come up?
Talking about playing brass instruments, I guess. Right?
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know how to read music either.
Okay.
Raymond playing the half.
Reese never misses an opportunity to be self-deprecating it for our amusement.
The half
Yeah, I can't
assassin
follow
rogue
with that,
Kethra. No, nothing.
I can't follow up with that.
All right.
I'm
this is too
researching. I don't know.
shameful.
Rochelle playing the Triton Lord Bard champion fighter Gillian Flounderson.
Hello.
Heather
Are you
playing the
illiterate?
human. Yeah, are you
I'm-
illiterate in anything?
I in reading I can read and I can read music.
I can
so
read.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, she lords that over me all the time.
Walk around
What does this
fanning
say?
myself with
Oh.
the music.
Sliding it in front of Reese at the dinner table. What does it say, Reese? Tell me.
Wouldn't you love to read this?
Stop it, okay? Just
Heather playing the human Oath of Devotion paladin Scarlet O'Fair. Can you read, Heather?
I can color.
You can color. There you go.
that's my power.
And Eric playing the Tiefling Monster Slayer Ranger Fiend Warlock Galen Cazador.
Hello.
Hello. We use roll 20.
That is very
Ooh,
nice.
that is
Look
nice.
at
I stayed in the lines and everything.
Exactly.
We use roll20.net for our campaign.
That's a recent
Discord.
skill.
Yeah, exactly. Stay in the lines. Discord video chat and stream it all using open broadcaster software with Streamlabs.
All right, so real quick before we start the recap, this is a special episode. It is our epilogue and recap episode, which we use as a final bookend to all of our campaigns. We're going to go over the epilogue first, which is all the exciting things of what happens to the end of Chris's campaign. And then we're going to recap the campaign. We're going to just go through and have a fun looking at maps and talking about all the dumb shit that Chris did to get us through this adventure. We'll also be doing giveaways throughout. I'm going to be starting the timer very soon, and we'll be doing them via polls that you can vote similar to the MVPC poll. So if you want to be entered into these giveaways that I've got, which you can see in the corner is going through the slideshow of all the products we have to give away, You want to vote in those polls. So be active in the chat and vote in those polls, and that's how you will enter. All right.
All right. Previously on War for the Lost Plane. Armed with the Creator's Spellbook, Rykresh was able to send the adventurers directly to Irithan and Ramael to thwart their destruction of this and perhaps all planes of existence. They were deposited in a mysterious cave with the goal of retrieving the Staff of the Creator by any means necessary and preventing the powerful couple from destroying reality. The cavern was lined with reflective surfaces, each showing different fantastical worlds.
Ignore that Streamlabs chat thing. That was the initial one. But the next time it'll come up, that'll be the correct time. So I'm starting the timer now. It's like, it's time. Like, no, it's time to start the timer, and then we'll start.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Don't get too excited.
Cavern was lined with reflective surfaces, each showing different fantastical worlds. From ahead, their quarry called to them, speaking of their plans to create their own singular, merged plane of existence with them as gods. They charged forward, and as they reached a large chamber filled with more mirrors into worlds, Irithan, with the Staff of the Creator, was magically enhancing Ramael as he charged, and the battle was on. Ramael crowded them, swinging his great radiant sword. Kalen teleported past and put his attention, not attachment, attention on Irithan, noting the staff activating in some way.
Feels that
Chris,
way.
how happy were you that Ramael did not fall on his ass?
Very happy. That we can talk about that later on,
Yeah.
about how Critical Fails ended up doing me a big pile of shit. But
I'd say a disservice, but sure, let's
a
go.
disservice. I wanted to go harder than disservice, and I couldn't think of anything. Scarlet, Kethra, and Gillian engaged Ramael, while Tim projected a field of anti-magic, forcing the angel to fight on fair terms. In the midst of the fighting, the staff activated and the entire cave broke away. They were transported into another world, a blasted hellish landscape that burned all those in it. The battle raged on. Almost as quickly, the staff whirled again, and they were transported into a realm filled with floating platforms and tentacles. The tentacles reached back to a massive beholder, and they were subjected to its eye rays, which failed to pierce Tim's anti-magic as he charged Irithan, attempting to stop the staff that was throwing them through dimensions. Irithan evaded, and they were again transported to Limbo, the land of chaos magic. Through a concentrated effort, the three on Ramael were wearing him down, and Kalen rapidly fired into Irithan as the magic tossed them a final time into a void between time and space, where the potential of their attacks were maximized. Kethra struck a massive blow into Ramael, who faltered, barely standing, as Scarlet chastised his divinity brought low one last time before righteously striking him down, his angelic body floating into the void. Irithan was soon to follow. As all were struck by passing meteors from the void space, Gillian magically animated one and slammed it into the demon, obliterating her. The staff went spiraling, and as Tim was the closest, he grabbed it, receiving visions of worlds splintering and a question of intent. Tim let his creator decide, reaching out to his divinity for guidance, and a vision of a massive leech appeared and swallowed them all, repairing the broken worlds and depositing them back into the cave on the Lost Plane, as they all lost consciousness.
Oh, leech gods.
That's right, saved by the leech gods.
That's just Torm in a whole different form.
Maybe. Who knows where Tim gets his power from? You awake in beds, in rooms of green stone with gold filigree. Rooms you recognize as the first places you awoke in Anonyma. Shortly, you are brought into the meeting hall of the Verdant Spire.
All our friends and loved ones.
Are we
The
dying?
hall
Are
is
not
the
here.
hall.
Who are you?
The hall is full of creatures you recognize, citizens of Anonyma you have saved and aided. Rykresh, Thixia, and Fiog are there, seated or hovering around the three large seats at the head of the room. Beside Rykresh, the staff and the spellbook that belong to Anonyma's creator float beside him. You saved us all, my friends, and likely countless more on other planes of existence. But now, at the end of it, we have the power to give you what you wanted from the start.
To go home?
With the Creator's Book and staff, we can bend the planes to send you wherever you wish to go. I say the word, and we'll send you off with our eternal gratitude.
Word.
But before you decide, consider this. Anonyma is left somewhat leaderless. We three are advisors at best, with little real power or sense of how to lead. If some of you chose to stay here, you would be able to shape our future, continue on the dream of a place where all may thrive. But it's up to you. Tell us where you want to go, and there you will be.
I have a question. Why do you think we would make good leaders?
You're so strong.
Ah,
I have heard might makes right.
I have no skill in diplomacy, no knowledge of cities.
You're perfect.
Right,
My infrastructure planning is iffy at best.
I'll be honest with you. We could use leaders, but you would be probably somewhere between a leader and a protector.
Oh, I'll rule with an iron fist.
You have to protect them from themselves. Like an AI overlord. Sounds like a bad idea.
I could get the army of other Tims. Then we could take over.
Oh dear God, this got dark.
Back with an army of Tims.
Do you have any plans to bring more people into this world?
I hadn't really had time to look at it yet. The creator had plans. He had planes he was looking at, creatures that were displaced or almost extinct in other planes of existence that he was thinking of bringing in, but he had a whole process. He would watch them for a while. He would discuss with us where best they might be placed here in Anonyma. I suppose after this is all over, we would take on his work, yes.
So you're taking people out of their world and putting them into this world?
Exactly. We ask first. We talk to them.
That's an important step. Because nobody asked us.
That was an extreme situation.
Uh-huh.
Creatures like the creatures upstairs. Old, oh God, I forgot her name.
Well, what's her name?
Old Blue Eyes.
Old Blue Eyes. The ent upstairs.
That's
Old Rough Bark.
Upstairs and that ancient tentacle being that resides upstairs.
Old Slimy.
They would never have survived in their own planes of existence, so we brought them here. After asking, of course.
I just feel like this limited world will be filled with incest and inbreeding.
I mean, look at the slot caves.
You gotta convince us there's a future in this world.
If you were to stick around, you'd have a voice in shaping it. So perhaps some of your concerns could be allayed, or we could do things maybe better. Obviously, the creator made a mistake with his last act. Got too ambitious trying to bring angels and demons into this place.
Said you could send us anywhere.
Anywhere.
And you send me to hell. Because I liked that one the moment I could, surrounded by demons, destroying them left and right, and there was nowhere for them to reform. They would die permanently. This is where I belong. Now, this plane, demon-free, no use for a demon hunter.
Be overcome and killed, yes? Eventually.
I mean, what a way to go, if that is the case. If this is my destiny.
Yeah, we could do that for certain. We hadn't considered such a request. We thought such places would be perhaps avoided by you all, but if you wish to go to the Infernal Plains, we can absolutely send you there. And you can hunt devils till the day you die.
2 days from now.
2 days, yeah.
Wait, I don't have to go, do I?
No.
All
I
right.
assume you don't want to go to hell.
I don't want to. Well,
Do you want to go
good
back
luck.
to Tentacle World?
it was nice knowing you.
For the cap to you as well, my friend.
To hell. I'm writing that down.
Voted to hell. I suppose any of the 9 hells will do. I don't know.
Yeah, he says that
Maybe not the
plane's-
cold one.
Yeah, okay. The plane is very thin in the infernal realm that you were just in, which he says it happens to be the one that Irathon is from. I don't know which one that was by name, but it's all fire and lava and many winged demons.
Wait, I have a proposition. What if you stay here temporarily and reform their army, whip them into shape, and then invade hell with an entire army?
You mean like a training grounds for angels and demons?
Eh? Of the slots and the
Are you
centaurs?
appointing your cabinet members already?
We must become a warlike people.
I'll be honest with you. I don't have faith in my leading skills, so I need to start a war to keep everyone distracted.
Best way.
Classic politician.
I'm
I used
definitely
to
not
be-
going to be like making things better. So I gotta keep things going.
I used to be a teacher of assassinry where I came back from. I will teach you all to be assassins.
Kethra, Brihat, it seems excited by this notion. Brihat's there. Oh, you're going to teach us how to kill like you. That is wonderful. I am excited.
Yeah, some people might die in the process, but I hope you're willing to take that risk.
Brihat's absolutely willing. Brihat's parents standing behind him, just going,
You'll have to sign a waiver, of course.
right.
Of course. If you're accidentally killed on day 1, you hold no grudges against me, the killer. I mean, the killer.
I'd probably be convinced, I guess. If all of you want to stay here and join Tim's, what is it called when the military runs things? I forgot the word.
A coup d'etat?
No, there's a
Where the military's like the government.
the military's the government.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a freaking word for that. I forget what it is. So yes,
I'm
that's
glad
what.
you guys are just perfectly fine letting Tim
Take
charge all of a
Make this
sudden.
decision.
Well, everybody, they seem to appoint you. They're elected you. Yeah.
I think you said us all, but yeah.
You can literally talk to a giant leech, and the leech just solves problems. That seems like a useful thing for a leader to have.
I told you leeches were useful.
So I would like to commune with my god.
Okay. What? As you all are talking, Rycrest tells you, Kaelin, he says, might be a way for you to get what you want and what we want. If you were to, after all, I've got these, and he waves his cat paws at the staff in the book. If you were to base yourself out of here, out of Anonyma, be our protector when you're here, I could conceivably transport you in and out of hellish plains at your discretion.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like a spin-off miniseries. 30 minutes long, just transporting a different layer of hell and getting into all kinds of hilarious shenanigans, but also killing demons.
Every time you come back, it just gets grimmer and grimmer. As Tim's rule just starts falling apart.
Attacks on apples. Oh no.
Every time Galen goes on a mission, he comes back, and just the world's a little worse. Just Tim's policies.
Increasingly bizarre and tyrannical.
Yeah.
Tell me, cats.
I'll
can
say
you-
this: of like nation running, only one of you has any actual experience in that, and that's the Triton princess who is amongst you.
That is true.
Gillian has plenty of diplomacy and nation running experience, but
Actually.
yeah, what
Timer. So we are time for a DM's Guild giveaway. If I can interrupt, or do you want to go a little longer?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, I didn't realize the timer actually made an alarm sound. That's hilarious.
Oh.
Beep, 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 beep. I'm like, all right, time. All right, so our first poll is coming up. Reminder, please vote in this poll if you want to be included in the giveaway. And the first poll is going to be a question between the players. This is a stat that I kept track of, which is who achieved the most critical hits in our campaign. Poll is only 2 minutes long, so be sure to vote.
Good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, do any of you have any guesses?
I based on experience, I have no idea. Based on what I know of the mechanics of your characters, logistically, it should be Gillian. Because she has that champion thing that's where she gets crits on 19
That's true.
20.
Yep.
I was gonna say Gillian.
But mechanically, I don't know. I don't know who actually did.
I guess Kethra.
Yeah.
I feel like lately it was Gillian getting it more.
I think it would have to be Scarlet or Gillian because they're making the most attacks. They're making like 2 or 3 rolls per turn.
Good guesses.
Yeah. So that'd be my guess.
All right, so you can continue. I need to write down who all is voting so I can keep track.
Okay.
Back in a
Scarlet,
second.
you wanted to commune with your god.
Yes.
Okay. You may do that.
Make sure when you vote that the Streamlabs thing counts your vote. You might have to check what the correct wording is, because that's how I'm using to write down the entrance.
Technically, you're typing on a very loud keyboard.
My apologies.
So yeah, I will commune with my god. And so I get 3 questions. Right? Just 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll wait for the spectral floating hand to show up in the air.
Yep, like before. It's the gloved right hand of Torm that you wear on your body.
First question she would ask is the threat to Anonyma neutralized?
Uh-oh, I lost for sure.
Yeah. The glove, the armored glove gives you a very hearty and enthusiastic thumbs up, Scarlet.
And it turns towards Tim and then goes thumbs down.
There's a new threat.
Then it points at Tim and goes, eh.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess the second question she would ask her god would be, does she need to stay? Is her mission to stay? Because she is a paladin of Torm. She will go where her god tells her to go.
Scarlet, the gloved arm floats towards you in your vision of your communion, and it puts its hand on your shoulder in a similar way that it did before, that sort of reassuring shoulder. This is more of like about to give you wise words, and you get a feeling, Scarlet. You get flashbacks to what you were doing right before you came here. of just traveling around. You were traveling around the countryside, helping people. You were finding supernatural threats to villages. You were aiding villagers and just problems they were having. And you get a vision of the wide world of Anonymous, now sort of sundered by, and in some places desolated by these two armies that have been through here. And you get the sense that there's a lot of good you could do here. That you could do a similar thing here, should you choose. You could travel, and there are people who could use your help.
Okay. And then the final question she would ask would be, can Geno's sword be redeemed?
Hmm.
The glove, Scarlet, the glove.
Glove is not prepared.
The glove tightens on. It's still on your shoulder, and it tightens on your arm, and you get a sense, Scarlet, that that the glove trusts you to hold this power in check, but that it's not a power. It's not a thing to be let loose.
Okay.
Ready for the winner for the poll?
Go for it.
All right, so I recorded all the entries, which, by the way, if you didn't get a chance to get your vote in, no problem. We've got plenty of these running throughout the night. None of you voted for the winner, by the way. Fuck all of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who got the most critical hits?
Oh, it was you?
I guess you three.
Yes. So it is true that Gillian gets more crits on a 19 to 20, and she was second. It was very close. I had written down that Kaylin got 10 critical hits. Gillian was at 9. Very. But remember, there was a lot of times where Kaylin could attack 3 times around because of the bonus action thing. And it just becomes a numbers game at that point. If you just attack more often, you're going to generate more crits.
Yep.
So it was very close, but I didn't get a single vote. It was Scarlet won the poll, and then I think Gillian and Kethra got some votes. And nobody voted for Kaylin.
It just because you always did them so fast. It always seemed like I don't think we ever registered that it was like a dramatic thing that happened.
There was one I wrote down that I got one session that I got 3 crits in one fight early on.
Oh wow,
which was pretty crazy. Who wants to roll? We need a 1d9 to determine who in the voting pool gets the first giveaway. Who wants to do it?
You can do it.
I'll do it.
All right, do it. Give me a 1d9. We had 9 successful votes in that one. Number 6 is Pete Fournier. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right. Pete Fournier, you are the winner chicken dinner of our first giveaway. I can type that name out. I am going to need communication from you. You can email me, you can message me on Twitter, on Discord, whatever methods you have of reaching me. I don't think can I private message people on here?
How about you figure that out while we keep going?
Yeah. Anyway, I need a way to contact you directly. So Discord is the easiest way. If you're in our Discord server, there's actually an invite link in the description below. Or hit me on Twitter or whatever other means that you have. But yes, continue on. I will start the timer for the next poll. But you are the winner of the first giveaway. And please choose one of the ones that you're seeing cycling through. Start the timer.
All right, that was and with that, Scarlet, your communion with your god fades.
Okay. So with that, once it was done, she would look at Rycrush and tell the cat, "Well, I'm staying."
Hold on a second. You were the one that was constantly on my ass about getting out of here. Now you want to stay?
Yes.
Okay. I guess.
We have to talk about making a lot of changes around here. First and foremost, we're going to need to build a temple to Torm, so that way everyone can come and worship for Torm if they want to. They're not going to have to push everything on them.
Going to become a missionary.
It's a new land. She's got to spread her religion throughout
or become like the leader of the resistance to Tim's
oppressive
rule.
regime.
Yeah.
Oh, That is the true epilogue. Is the real war for the Lost Play, and it's Tim's forces versus Scarlet's Torm insurgency.
Tell me, Cat, can you send me to the future?
I don't know.
There are passages in the Master's book about when stepping through planes, altering the time that you might arrive onto the planes. After all, time doesn't always exactly move at the same rate between planes. So, to some degree, perhaps, what do you have in mind?
Same world where I came from, but 200 years in the future. I have great visions in my head that cannot be achieved in these times.
I can try, my friend. I don't know exactly how you'll land, but give me some time and I can attempt to thrust you forward back to the Sword Coast.
Back to the future.
200 years in the future.
You just appear as a just corpse and just dusty bones. It worked.
I mean, give or take a few years. That has to be exactly 200 years.
All right, yeah. So,
I mean, I'll take 201. I mean, I'm not picky.
okay.
If that helps.
All right. Kaylin, you decide what you want to do?
Well, I was gonna go to hell and go demon hunting, but if Tim wants me to stay here and help train people, I don't.
Tim does.
Yeah. I could be easily convinced. I think Tim saved my life at one point, so I do feel probably at least slightly indebted.
I'm pretty certain I saved your life more times.
If you have a different suggestion, then I will be willing to hear that out.
Yeah, you're also staying, so your vote wouldn't.
Yeah.
You'll be the one that is in my army for a long time, but then betray me at the end because Scarlet convinces you.
Yes. The Civil War starts.
This really is going to become like the light and dark war again.
Stop your tyrannical. It's just an army of stormtrooper Tims everywhere. Yeah, we should have played this campaign. This sounds awesome.
All right, Gillian, what are you gonna do?
So I think of Gillian as being like somewhat nomadic in being a diplomat. So, and I think that she would not really want to be around for this like Tim and Scarlet nightmare that's happening here.
You can be. I'll make you the ambassador to the Salage.
No, that's
Who
okay.
cares?
You're the only one with any governance experience. We need you here.
That's why she gets purged first. She's too dangerous. Too much knowledge.
That's right.
I think that my people really need me back home because they have been without any guidance for such a long period of time. But I could be persuaded with the appropriate contract to stick around for a couple of years to get you all started here. And she's going to try to negotiate like a very nice hefty fee for her consultation services. And that's so she'll help establish a government and then move on with her way. Now I'm not sure who I don't know if she's working with Tim or with Scarlet or just trying to keep the peace. I'm not really
like
sure.
That's one of the first hurdles you guys are going to hit.
I think for Gillian, I think it's whoever is going to pay the highest sort of fee.
Well,
and that's
Gillian. What you soon realize is that they don't necessarily have what you would call a currency in this world, but you could probably negotiate for like whole tracts of land that people could build you a home on, and you could probably just the raw resources of this whole plane are kind of at your disposal. So you could probably negotiate for something in that end, but they don't have it like money per se.
Then you could get people to work for you, and they'll just kind of stay on your land as payment for working for you.
Okay, well, this starting to sound a little problematic.
And eventually they're living there, so you don't really have to pay them. They live there.
Okay.
You could call them indentured servants.
How easily,
This is coming out of all of your mouths.
how
not
easily
mine.
we are corruptible.
It really doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Nope. All right. So the only one straight leaving then is Kethra.
Yeah, but there'll be a time machine. I'll just come right back. So
Oh, okay, I see.
Wait, why are you going to the future?
why not? I mean,
Okay,
That's our
don't you
Kethra. Why not?
Why not?
fair enough.
I need new ways to kill people.
He comes back with just a fucking lightsaber. I found a new way to kill people.
A lightsaber and an assault rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been all over. It's great. All right. Yeah, so you all sort of Gillian, you negotiate a very nice package, a very nice portion, a nice you're able to like sort of take over a lot of the like architect or the buildings that the creator once had as part of your deal with them, as that you need these temples and homes to, you know, run your ambassadorship out of. Tim, with no real leadership experience and with a creator who before you who just told them what to do, they generally
Hey, didn't I
just
create
listen.
Tim Nation?
Is that what you really want to do, is try to get like all your because yeah, when you left the Sword Coast at some point you had found other constructs like yourself.
Oh wait, I forgot about all them. Right? It had been that long ago.
I think maybe you had forgot about them.
Yeah,
When we picked up
alright.
this campaign, you were like wandering the countryside.
Well, maybe when I need them the most and become more despotic, I'll remember
Okay.
some of them, and they'll be stormtroopers purging the kingdom.
This might be a little meta, but do we know if time passed parallel to these events, or if we were to return, like we would just return to the exact same point in time? We
I think that
disappeared.
generally speaking, just a jump from plane to plane, the time would have moved parallel
Okay.
without any like crazy magic to sort of alter the time flow as you're jumping from plane to plane.
Got you.
Scarlet, per your communion with your god, you sort of set out into the countryside and you encounter all sorts of creatures. You encounter villages of satyrs and mushroom people and what were some of the other ones? Coconut people at one point.
I befriend all and
That's
show them the
right.
way of the
You show them
light.
the way of Torm. Some of them the coconut people build you a little stick shack that they call a temple to Torm after some time you spend with them.
Mm-hmm. I learned to speak their coconut language.
That's right. Kaylin,
I build my army against the Tims.
the inevitable Tim.
Oh no.
Kaylin, you do train soldiers there for a good amount of time. You kind of end up getting restless a lot, and they do with
Kill some of
Rykresh.
them.
With Rykresh, well, maybe you could, but with Rykresh's magics, he's able to, whenever you get restless, send you on like week-long excursions.
Like a dog
into
needs to
the-
get on a walk.
into the fiendish plains where you just murder shitloads of demons for a week, and then you
Nice.
come back refreshed and are able to train soldiers some more.
I'm in the right headspace.
You're the right
Yeah.
headspace.
Inner peace achieved for another week.
Wipe
Covered
blood off. Yeah.
Demon gore.
I mean, he is entitled to take his PTO. We do have to make sure he takes it before the end of the fiscal year.
That's
That's
right.
right.
It's just, while it is an inconvenience for us and the job that needs to get done,
And Kethra, you awaken in a room that looks oddly like the room you left out of your assassin training facility that you were pulled from when this first started. But the room looks different. The walls are like a silvery gray, and the door leading out of the room looks mechanical and somewhat. On the far side of the room, you see a window, Catherine. You walk up to it and you look out over a landscape of metallic buildings, some of which are jutting fire out of the top, and huge pathways that you see lighted vehicles traveling along. And you wonder at all the ways you're going to learn how to kill people here.
Oh, God.
Hopefully, I didn't land in the year 2020.
Hopefully.
You die so quickly.
All right, and with that,
Just come back with a plague.
that's
This is
right.
how you kill people right here. This one hypodermic needle.
And I'm sure eventually there will be some sort of reckoning with Tim's despotic leadership, Gillian's ambassadorship, Kalen's training of soldiers, and Scarlett's traveling missionary
Perfect ray of
work.
sunshine.
Yep. But what that may be.
I like that it ends up with Back to the Future, where Kethra appears like in a flying car and says, "We gotta get the fuck out of here."
Here, take these lightsabers.
That's how it really is.
It's your kids, Scarlett. Something's got to be done about your kids. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
Da, 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 da.
That's exactly what happens.
Makes me happy.
All right. With that, let's jump into the recap portion of our program.
Cool.
I will be walking through all the maps in chronological order for us to talk about. At any time, you guys can jump in with questions, comments, as can the chat, which someone may have to tell me if chat has a good question about the maps as we go. After it's over, I will ask for your favorite moments or scenarios from the campaign, so keep that in mind while we do this. And all the poll stuff Eric already said, so I'm not going to say that again.
Do we want to go ahead and do one? We've got about a minute left, but I figured it
for
might
it.
be a good
Yeah,
timing.
now's a good time.
Try and
Yeah.
do that. Cool. All right, let's do another poll. This one is going to be, this is pure opinion. And that is, what was your favorite magic item? And I had to take the liberty of narrowing the list down to 5. You can agree or disagree with that. But it is between Telluri, and please note the spelling. I hope I got it right.
Okay.
Genosword!
The Genosword. The Hellfire Crossbow, the Phase Axe, the Slumber Rug, or the Eternal Slayer. Please pay attention to what you have to actually type in for the votes. You have to do either vote Telluri, vote Crossbow, vote Phase Axe, vote Slumber, or vote Slayer.
Telluri.
You got progressively more lazy with these names as you went on.
Well, I try to be like, do I want people to be able to type out like all these things?
Yeah,
And
like one word. Yep.
yeah.
All right. And while that goes on, you all first came into Anonymous.
These votes. Into the poll.
Arena, which was purely a testing ground for Rykresh, Thixia, and Fiog, having chosen you to come defend their plane of existence from the armies. They wanted to test you, and they had Celestials and Fiends for you to fight. A Celestial Dragon and these demon gorillas.
I should mention real quick, if you won already, I mean, feel free to vote, obviously, but you cannot win again. However, we're going to be doing a grand prize giveaway at the end, which will include everybody who's voted in a poll, whether you've won or not. So it is worth sticking around. Check that out, but I want to give everybody a chance to win. So if you've already won one product, you are not going to be included in the giveaway poll, but please do vote for funsies.
At this point, you guys had no idea what was going on. I don't think you even had you didn't have any idea what was going on until the very end of this map, which was kind of fun because it was just, yeah, I had no idea.
You know, I don't think I ever introduced myself in this campaign.
I'd have to go back and watch the tapes. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know for the longest time they didn't even know you were there. You were just in the shadows firing your bow and arrow.
Shadow.
I wonder if you ever actually said your name to anybody. Or if you
I
were
don't
just
think
that,
you ever did.
if you were just that assassin lady who shows up every once in a while and kills things. Then you moved up to or you were moved down. You're going down the stairs. You were at the top of the verdant spire. To the menagerie, this 4-roomed area. Ubrow, that was her name. That was the name of the ant lady.
Unibrow.
Unibrow?
Yeah,
Unibrow.
Unibrow.
That's.
Yep.
I believe you guys went to Ubrow, the ant's room first, having heard a fight in there, and defended her and her animated trees from some devils. And
That's where we took our first long rest,
that's
too.
where you. I think you took a short rest. I don't think I was letting you take a long rest in there. If I remember correctly.
Man,
But
there's
you
a
did
lot
rest-
going
you
on
did-
this map. Jeez.
Yes, you start in the center area. And
Yeah.
there's 4 rooms. Yeah.
Tentacles and all that.
Yep,
Do
and
you
then
want to do the
went-
poll results, or do you want to?
Go for it.
Okay. So everybody voted for at least one thing, which is cool. Do players have a guess? I don't know if y'all are watching the stream or not, but on what
I guess at what the winner is?
what the winner of what was the most voted favorite magic item in our campaign?
What were they again?
Telluri, the Geno Sword, the Hellfire Crossbow, the Phase Axe, the Slumber Rug, and the Eternal Slayer.
Slumber Rug.
Phase Axe.
Probably the funniest. Phase Axe was used the most, so
Yeah.
I think Phase Axe would probably be like most prominent.
I think that's what gave it the edge. Is Phase Axe did end up winning by a sizable margin
Oh, really?
because it was used the most out of any magic item. Slumber Rug was really fun for a while, but all these items, they had like their moments to shine
Right.
in their like specific areas. But the Phase Axe was like I think we got it pretty fairly early on.
Oh yeah, you got it from the boss of this dungeon.
Yeah.
At the very very beginning. All right, Phase Axe was the crowd favorite.
Indeed.
Yes, you guys talked to the tentacles. I wish I had. And there's a lot of stuff that if this campaign could have gone on forever, I would have probably figured out ways to do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had found a way to bring the tentacle creature back in some way. That would have been fun.
Yeah, that was neat.
Because he was a neat NPC that you guys could talk to, and you guys never actually physically attacked him. I don't think. But he was just trying to talk to you, and you guys had to let him surround you before he could do it.
Who wants to roll a 1d14 to determine our prize winner for this poll?
You should just do these. You're gonna run out of people really quick.
Okay. I just thought I'd include more people, but sure, I can do it.
I was muted. I rolled.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't say it.
I didn't see it either.
And
I rolled mine publicly, though, so.
Okay.
Let's go with this one. I'll give you the next one.
I just got your connection's been interrupted.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm not saying it, so maybe both of you guys rolled. And I'm
Okay.
not seeing either one.
I beat your roll slightly. I'll let you do the next
There
one,
it
though.
is.
The winner is Kevin. Kevin Wiles. Kevin Wiles, you are the winner of this round's giveaway. Please hit me up on Twitter, Discord, or email, and let me know which of these products that you would like. Start the next timer.
The Geno Sword would demand justice. Yes, I think he probably would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the other 2 room, you guys did go in this east room with the I forget what they're called. And I have no connection right now, so I can't look at what they're called.
Yeah, I just got interrupted. Dang it.
Amphitheaters. The amphitheaters. And this is one where you guys didn't have to fight them at all. They're wild animals in their little jungle setting, and I think you guys just wanted to fight something. So you killed some of these poor bat creatures. Then you met the bellboy for the first time. got his stuff. You guys never went in this northern room, which is fine. There's just other creatures up there that you don't really need to interact with. And then once you figured out the bellboy, you went down another one. This one, it looks like there's a lot going on, but it was really just basically two main areas. You came out here in the middle.
Funny how different this looks without the
Yeah, exactly, right?
the walls and shit.
Yep.
Looks like a rug.
Yes. Yeah, you guys came out in this middle, and the top section was just a huge angel demon fight going on, which you guys actually did engage a little bit in, but you didn't get too involved with it before you went into these side passages, where you had one of my favorite moments in this whole campaign, which was the electrified hallway that you decided to body surf Tim down. One of them. Scarlet I believe it was Scarlet on top of Tim while Tim cast water in front of himself. Is that the situation?
Uh-huh.
This is gonna come up later, by the way, in one of our polls.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tim was casting water to short circuit everything, and then I wrote on top like a surfboard.
Yep. And you body surfed Tim down an electrified hallway.
Body surfed Tim down an electrified hallway.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then you found another bellboy. You solved a simple puzzle about letting the trees win a game of tic-tac-toe, or just win any game, but you guys chose tic-tac-toe over here. And that allowed you to proceed downward to the next level.
This had to be the biggest dungeon, because this is before we realized, oh shit, we need to like increase the pacing quite a bit.
Yeah, this is my DM notes, is that the first two dungeons were both pretty long. After that, when I realized, like, oh Lord, this is going, I had to pick up this pace. The dungeons got progressively shorter as we went. So this one was definitely the longest. I believe we were doing like a session per level. So this whole thing was like 4 levels or four sessions.
That sounds, actually I can tell you how many sessions, but that sounds pretty close. Okay. Yeah.
This map has changed completely since you guys were first here. Now it's got got the end stuff, but and Slod weren't here and Centaurs weren't here. But when you guys first came through here, there was a Celestial, a Deva here with 2 of his lion creatures.
Oh, this is where Reese just like canceled the entire boss fight.
Yes. Yes. A Deva and 2 Felidars, which are Celestial lions. And I never did get to use the Felidars again. They just got poofed out of existence. And that is the moment I realized.
Because we were only like 13 at that point, right?
Was it Divine Word? I don't remember that.
Something that poofed him out.
Yeah. He would use Divine Word again later to do that to another different encounter.
And it's level 7.
Yeah, so you might have had it at 13.
Let's find out.
But yeah, you guys canceled that encounter by getting rid of those.
Was that your moment where you're like, oh shit, this is gonna get...
That is the moment I went, oh, okay, this is what high-level D&D is like.
Yeah.
It would have been possible at that point, yeah.
Okay.
I would have just gotten it.
Yeah.
At 13.
Yep.
What's it called?
Divine Word.
Divine Word.
Divine Word.
Okay.
You guys did end up having to fight the Deva, as the Deva was throwing the phase axe through you all.
Right.
And then once.
Oh yeah, that was another cool thing you did, which I liked, is that enemies had the items, and then when we looted the enemies, we got those items. That is a really cool feature. You can see it in action.
It's a fun way to add extra challenge to an NPC stat block too.
Yeah,
like,
just give them the magic item.
It's Deva, but they've also got the magic.
With the caveat that the players are definitely going to want that magic item afterwards.
Yes, exactly.
But I wouldn't even expect that
item.
Yeah.
You guys didn't know that at that time. So like you said, I think you were surprised, like, oh, we get to keep this axe. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys got the axe. You guys did some exploring. You explored some of these side rooms, which are like studies and meeting rooms. You found the singing mug that you then threw in a corner. Which
we didn't take it.
I'm not gonna say it hurts, but there's a little bit of a drop in the heart when you spent time writing a magic item.
Just throw it on the ground.
And you're in the corner with your singing mug. But the real purpose of the singing mug was to solve the bellboy puzzle. You had to put, I believe, whiskey and wine in the mug at the same time, and it would sing a specific song that would deactivate the bellboy. So you did that. You also found over here in the left side evidence of how they summoned you using magic crystals and scrolls with your names and deeds written on them. And then
that was cool.
Yeah, a little bit of world building there. And then you got into the main meeting room where you met your 3 patrons generally. Fiog, Thixia, and Rykresh. And because you guys just sort of decided on Rykresh ended up being the only one that really mattered. But you guys could have chosen any of the 3, and they would have been your primary contact throughout the whole campaign.
Are you suggesting we redo this campaign but choose a different guy?
I am suggesting that.
Dear Lord.
You'll get a different ending if you choose a different guy.
Which one were you hoping we would have chosen, Chris?
Honestly, the only one I didn't have a preference because I kind of actually, you know what? I take it back. I was actually the one I was hoping you would pick the least was Rykresh because I couldn't figure the voice out. And throughout the whole fucking campaign,
I remember that.
I was trying to do Ray Winstone. If anybody is familiar with that actor, I'm just trying to do Ray Winstone. That's what Rykresh sounded like. But I couldn't. That's why I kept doing this. Every time I would do Rykresh, I would have to be able to hear myself speak to even remotely do it right. And I can never get my voice growly enough. Fiog, I think you guys heard the Irish accent and went, nope, we don't want none of that for another 4 months or whatever. And Thixia was fine. She was like a little ranger, guide you through the land, would tell you what area land was dangerous and what wasn't. But you chose Rykresh, and you set off.
Why did we choose Rykresh?
I think he was the least annoying voice.
That's
the
right.
cat. He's a little talking cat. Yeah, we thought that'd be cool.
The visual of a magic black cat is probably nice too. Because the other 2 were a little fairy and just a little short hairy man.
I think Heather was spot on though. Their voice was annoying.
Right. Pick the one that you can listen to for a solid few months.
Good plan.
And then you guys set out. And I will tell you this, another DM note. When we first set off, I had all sorts of shit not planned, but when you guys were traveling from one place to another, I had okay, they'll go through this mini area, and they'll go to this mini area. I had all of those plans between each of the major dungeons, ended up scrapping them all except the first one because just for time. Because the first mini area you went through, as you traveled north going to Marin Grove, was the One Wood. So initially my plan was there would be another an area the size of the One Wood, which is basically just one encounter or map between each of the major levels. But for time, I just ended up scrapping most of that. But you guys did pass through the One Wood, the living forest with vines.
I remember you gave us a choice between going there or passing some water lady.
I did. And I never ended up using her again, but I did use her fish again. So her name was Undine. She was a bad luck mermaid lady who wanted to kiss somebody, but when she kissed people, they turned into fish that she kept as slaves that swam around her.
Oh.
Later on, you would see those fish repurposed as servants of the Merit.
Oh, the Merit, yeah, okay.
So you guys traveled through the One Wood, the living vine-covered forest that was all one living being, the entire forest. And you got your first taste of some fiend combat, or no, I guess it wasn't your first taste. But you got your first, I think what I feel like was the first high-level combat encounter here.
This was neat too. You had the demons flying down, and they were holding other demons, and like
Yes,
airdropping
yes.
in like
Each of the bigger
smaller
ones
demons.
is holding a smaller one. Yeah.
I think Tim did the same damn thing again here too, as I recall. He nuked like half the enemy.
He nuked half of them. Yep.
And I think I feared like 2 more, and then we only had to fight
Yes.
like 1 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a pretty big shutdown, this fight.
Yeah.
I think Tim got rid of both the Hellhounds, and I believe both the little I forget what they're called. Kenelos.
All right,
The other
people,
little
you
dog-
can't all shut your
dog.
cameras off. I don't have enough. I don't have enough fucking modes for this. I don't have one with 3 cameras on. No, Reese,
about
you
for-
son of a bitch.
That puts things back. Now it's all fixed.
Spirit chaos. Chaos.
But yes, you guys did shut down this fight. I'll show you what the full vines look like, and they were everywhere.
Do we ever fight a vine?
No, you wisely let them when you I think Kethra pushed one of the last enemies into the vines, which made them hostile to that demon, and they just shot out and wrapped up. I think it was one of the bone devils. They wrapped up the bone devil, and you saw just perforate that bone devil.
So
You guys wisely avoided them.
if we fought the vines, would they just spawn
They
forever?
would just spawn forever. They're everywhere. If you guys had decided to just fight your way through the one wood, I would have it would have become probably an initial combat and then just a cinematic of like you guys trying to just get the fuck out while vines shoot out at you and try to stab you. This is the first time you met one of the villains. Also, Irathon shows up briefly to introduce
Lovely
herself.
conversation, I think.
Yes. And then you all moved on northward to the entrance of Marin Grove, which you could only access by river rapids.
Ah, yes. Gillian's time to shine.
That's right. Gillian's swimming alongside, swimming ahead. I believe somebody teleported ahead at one point.
I remember this being a really fun scenario too.
Yeah.
Like all the different shenanigans we had to pull.
Yes. You guys were doing a lot. Yeah. Tim was using his shape water in interesting way, like creating ramps and creating like
Yeah. The first use of the water spells saving our
waters.
ass.
Yes. The true MVP of the campaign, water.
Water. Magical water.
But yeah, you guys pretty much rocked this encounter too. Like you had answers for every situation that I threw at you, like rocks into the boats. I forget what else there was. Rapid turns. You guys were just at one point there's a rapid turn and I believe Tim used the water to create like a bank so that the boat would just like ride the water bank around the corner.
Water bank.
And then you guys fell off a waterfall into Marin Grove, which may take a moment to load because it's a fucking ginormous map.
This fucking map, dude. Holy shit.
So, for those watching or curious, a couple of the initial maps, well, a lot of the maps actually, I'd say like 3 or 4 of them, come from Dungeons of the Mad Mage. Later on, I ended up cutting them into pieces a little bit, but initially for this one in Twisted Caverns, I just straight up took the whole map from Mad Mage and plopped it down and used the whole thing. Ended up being more than we actually ended up needing. But that's why this map is so big. So you guys started up here in the north, came down here to the grave of what's his name? I don't remember. Chrisen.
Yeah.
Chrisen was his name. Yes, the grave of Chrisen, whose ghost haunted you for a little while before you, Tim, kind of, sort of agreed to dig up his hammer.
Kind of.
And then he stuck around you for a little while longer. You moved down here from there. You, for a moment, looked at this gate where all these fiends were living, but you chose not to go in there at the moment. I believe at this point you guys did some exploration of the east here. Catherine, I remember, opened the spider room and just immediately closed it. It's just a little area with spiders. There's nothing in there. Just complete bullshit room. Over here to the east, there was nothing but some wild animals.
This area was huge.
This area was huge. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember where you guys went from here.
What was on the east side of the map? What is that stuff?
It's just more stuff. It's just
Wow.
there was caverns over there. That this boat right here
Dinosaur.
is a mimic.
Yeah.
There's a rowboat sitting here that if you get in the rowboat, it's a mimic and it just immediately tries to bite you and drown you. Yeah. And yes, this area right over here is just some wild animals, with the dinosaur being one of the wild animals. I believe from here you actually guys went and talked to Marina. I believe you went straight to her. Yeah. So you went down here.
It's time for another giveaway.
Ooh. Go for it.
Right, I need to stop that thing before it does the beeper because that is terrible.
And you're right,
sound.
Corey. These are upgraded. They are. If you just, I forget who the name of the artists are, but if you just Google color version of Mad Mage maps, you'll find these. People made full versions of them.
Why the polls still show? All right. The next poll is another one with a correct answer, and that is, how many times did anyone reach 0 hit points in this campaign? 2,
Wait.
A lot.
3, 4, 5, or 6 times?
You mean as a collective?
Yes.
How many times
Collectively, yes.
do we go down to 0? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
3.
I want to say it's like 6.
I'll go one more. I'll say 4 times.
Apparently, I can't get the poll. Still shows the magic items on there. I don't know why, but trust me, it is working on my end.
You run the gamut.
Oh, we can guess too?
You can guess.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you can guess for
5.
sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess 5.
How many times collectively did anyone in the party reach 0 hit points?
I go 4.
When you were talking to Marina, you had a brief moment, which, by the way, I think I can drag you down, which she's not there anymore, but the Marina maps are way down here. This map is huge. You guys were talking to her. You had one fun moment where you guys were talking to Marina, and Kristen was in Tim's ear trying to get him to kill her while you guys were trying to get a quest from her. But I believe you were able to just get Tim out of the room quickly, I think is what happened.
Yeah, we hustled them out.
Just hustled him out.
I think we got the quest. We could see
yes.
the lust, and then we hustled them out.
Yeah. And you guys went your guys' path, and this is pretty funny because you didn't even end up doing her quest. Because her quest was to kill the werebears. And you guys got this far. And by the way, from where I just pinged, if you scroll down, that entire area is the werebears village, where they live. They live in the caves surrounding this empty town. It's so big. But while some of you investigated this building right here, others of you saw traces of the dragon who lived nearby in the walls, which I'll bring him over.
All right. So what was the player's guess on how many times we reached 0?
A couple of us said 4. I think me and Rochelle said 4. Rami said, what'd you say?
I said 5, but
5.
no,
6.
6.
I'll just stick with the 5.
Fans mostly voted 5. The correct answer is 4, however. Would like to know specifics. Who's your guess on who went down the most? It's only 4 times total.
Yeah.
Scarlet.
That is correct. Scarlet went down twice. Kaylin went down once, and Kether went down once. Total of 4
Oh,
times
wow.
to
Tim
reach
and
0 hit
Gillian
points.
never went down?
Never went down.
Wow. Okay.
You know, it's pretty good though, coming from the campaign we did before this one.
Yes.
So not going down at all to then now being
Yeah,
taken down twice.
right.
All right.
I mistakenly thought
Wow.
Tim went down in the toilet room. I thought he went down
Oh, the
the poop room.
Speaking of which, Tim, roll me a 1d9, please, for our winner for this one. Number 2 is Cert 2B. My man Sean,
Appropriate.
you are the winner at number 2 for the toilet one. Cert 2B, you are the winner. Please let me know which prize that you would like of the slideshow. Which, by the way, I am deleting them as they are chosen. So if you don't see one, that's because it is no longer
For
in
all of them.
the pool.
And then you guys were brought over to Telluride, brought to his attention. I believe you guys staggered your way over here because some of you were still exploring the building. I believe Kethra sort of went down and looked at the werebears a little bit. But you all eventually landed at Telluride, where you'd had another of my favorite moments, which is your insane plan to get the sword out of the head of the possessed dragon.
Yes, this was good. I like this a lot.
Which ended, oh god, I'm trying to remember all the different steps.
At one
Scarlet was
point,
talking to him.
yeah, Kethra,
Kaelin,
and it was one point. It was just I think Kethra and Scarlet or something initially, and the rest of us were coming. For some reason, we were separated when we first started this.
Yeah, you guys were definitely staggered. Some of you were in that building, in like the temple building.
Yeah,
and then came over. But yeah, it ended with Scarlet talking to him. Kaelin and Kethra ending up on his head trying to pull the sword out, as Tim messaged them from the ground, and Gillian prepared to cast Featherfall on them once they finally got the sword out and fell off the dragon.
Very specific sequence.
Yes. But that ended with Telluride. I don't remember. Viraldor. That's the name. That's the name of the giant. I don't remember what the real dragon's name was.
That's a good trivia question that I do not have.
Somebody who has a better memory than me could probably tell you, because he probably introduced himself once.
I think it was just in that scene. Yeah.
Yeah. But where you learn the dragon's name is not Telluride, the sword's name is Telluride. And the dragon was very angry at Marina for A, possessing him with a sword, and B, then the sword using him to wipe out the city that once existed here.
Mm-hmm.
At which point you guys agreed to work with the dragon and work against Marina.
I mean, it seemed like a good play at the time.
Yep. And then I briefly. Here's another bit of GM trivia. As you guys walked past, I briefly had you see all the werebears that you chose not to interact with, just lined up outside their village, watching you. Later on, that you would still encounter the leader of the werebears, Mobar, in a different place.
That was cool. That was neat. Yeah, they reappeared.
Reused. Yep.
Yeah.
But you guys went and fought Marina, and I believe you guys didn't have a whole tough of a time beating her. She has this army of crows back here.
You know, one of our future polls is the best boss fights, and I didn't even consider that one because I don't remember that one.
It wasn't that hard. Yeah,
No.
you guys kind of handled her pretty well. So, without the dragon, fighting her is very difficult because she owns all the animals of the forest, and she has all, which I think I told you when you guys were exploring a couple times, she has like a dozen giant crows nesting on her tower.
Mm.
And by activating the dragon and being on his side, I essentially just negated the crows. Like the dragon was up there fighting the crows while you were down there fighting the druidess. So it was basically just the druidess, her chimera, and her woodwode. It was those three, and you guys really I think you just handled her. You blinded her, and then you just powered down the chimera. Yeah. And won the fight. And I believe Scarlet then raised the Marina to get information out of her.
I did.
Just for the dragon to eat her again.
Yep. Hey, we needed the info, man.
That's right. But then you moved on. You had the info. What was your info at that point?
Where the creator went.
Right. You were headed to
Chasing him for
Summit
a while.
Island. You were headed to Summit Island. That's why the Twisted Caverns were actually a kind of a sidetrack for you. So you were headed to Summit Island, but you got sidetracked about here when you bedded down for the night and got ambushed by some slod.
So is this when you started realizing, like, okay, you're gonna get one encounter outside of a dungeon as your random encounter, but then that's gonna
right.
count basically
That's
as
it.
part of the dungeon
Oh yes, for sure.
in
Yeah,
terms
yeah,
of like you're
definitely.
not gonna obviously rest between then.
Yeah, this is the first time I think we did that. And I think we did that for.
I think we talked about that in at least a couple of the chats too. Was like, this is how we're gonna be balancing this going forward.
Yep. So you guys fought these groups of slod here in these glowing mushroom forest. I don't remember how well this fight went. I think you guys did fine. I don't think anybody went down or there was any real danger. I think you guys handled it pretty well.
For some reason, I don't remember. I remember the Abishai fight really well, but I don't remember this one as well.
You were counterspelling a lot in this one, I remember, because the blue one kept trying to do, not the blue one, the green one kept trying to do chain lightning, and it wasn't going off.
Did we fight Slod in the actual Twisted Caverns? I think this was our only real Slod fight.
Because, as you came to find out, these Slod were being controlled by a Celestial.
Yeah.
These were not Slods aligned with the actual Slods in the Twisted Caverns. The actual Slods in the Twisted Caverns were relatively friendly. Like, they were brought here by the creator to live in peace.
Yeah.
And that's what you went to investigate when you went into the Twisted Caverns, the next of our ginormous maps.
Yeah. This one, at least, it was more caves. We had specific places to go.
You had paths, yep. So you guys came in up here.
This looks insane without the actual.
I know, because I had to add all these fog effects manually.
Wow.
It's just a bunch of tokens for the fog effects. Yeah. So it does look very weird. Outside of without dynamic lighting on. Some of you went and scouted out the giant over here to the east. And I believe it was Kethra who went and talked or brought you all to him eventually to speak to. Oh God, his token doesn't even have a name. I don't know what was his name. What was the Birdman's name?
Kikimora was the
Kikimora.
Is that the name?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
I only know that because that's included in a poll later on.
Okay, good. To speak to the Kikimora. And the Kikimora was a trader of memories and magic items, which you guys eventually learned. And I believe the only one who ended up wanting to trade with him was Tim.
Because you sucked out his skill of something, which is crazy.
He was literally trading memories for magic items. And I was flavoring that, or not flavoring that. The mechanical version of that was you lose the training you got that gave you proficiency in different skills.
Yeah.
I was willing to, I forget what he wanted, but you could have given up your athletics proficiency. You could have given up your insight proficiency. You could have given up a number of things. Which,
in the context of this campaign, might not have been the end of the world, because, maybe, I don't know if we ever really needed insight, for example, or intimidate. Some of those skills didn't actually come into play that often.
Not that often,
versus some magic items could have been probably pretty useful.
Yep. But he traded his insight for the slumber rug. And just to let you guys know, one of those items, the rod, lets you summon a cloud that you can very slowly ride that gives you a 10-foot fly speed. So that's what the rod does. Rod of the Cloud Bearer.
That seems useful.
Yep, but you didn't want it. You weren't willing to part with your memories.
No, it's terrible.
Or the blink back boots, which what the blink back boots do is let you, as I think it's a bonus action, you leave imprints on the ground. And then at any time, you can use another bonus action to teleport back to that spot. Kind of like Gul'dan's. I think Gul'dan has a here's the storm skill like that, where you just set a point, and you can just teleport back to that point at any time. But after him, you went and talked to the giant. And
The
I believe this.
first use of the slumber. I guess on the way back we used the slumber rug. Or no,
On the
we
way-
used it on the way
back.
down, didn't we? Because we slumber rugged him,
That's right.
and then we're like, oh
'cause
shit, we're gonna have to go back and get that slumber rug back.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, because you guys had a very successful social encounter with him.
Yeah.
I believe you guys
Until-
started to activate the chaos magic at that point.
Yeah,
but-
somebody activated the chaos and it drew all the like stuff in, and then it pissed him off. Then he came at us.
That's right. He came at you, and somebody failed a social check real bad,
Yeah.
and he thought you were thieves, and Tim had to slumber rug him.
These maps are huge, Chris. Good lord,
know.
I'm looking at this for the
I
first
know.
time. Like,
Yeah.
god damn.
They're real big, and you can see how much stuff you did not come to.
Yeah.
How much stuff we didn't use. You guys traveled down and had a social encounter with the Slod down here,
Sounds about right.
where Tim used his. This is another one of my favorite moments. Well, the kind of two different moments from that are kind of separate from the same dungeon, but Tim turning into a glitter mushroom god.
That was a lot of fun.
Was that the same session? Or was that two different sessions? I can't even remember.
It
happened to be
the previous
gradual.
section.
Like
It happened gradually.
Because I think you just turned. I don't know which happened first, but eventually you put on a mushroom hat and you started talking to the
Yes.
slot, and then the chaos magic started doing things.
Mm-hmm.
I put on the mushroom hat to disguise myself,
Because you were purple. You had colored yourself purple from a previous chaos magic.
and then I think I cast tongues to speak to them after the disguise stopped working.
Yep.
That's when the glitter stuff started.
started. Yeah, I think so.
So
You started spewing glitter out of your eyes and mouth and everywhere else.
yeah,
Yep. Which the Slod, just being chaotic beings, found immensely hilarious. And I believe you guys then got your main impetus of what you were doing in the Twisted Caverns, which was stopping the Celestial that was mind controlling and taking the gems from the Slod that allowed it to control them. And you guys set off down the river to go to the Celestial. Down the river you went.
It felt like we optimized the hell out of this dungeon. Like
You
we
absolutely
did
did.
everything like perfect, except for having to slumber rug the giant.
Yes.
But in terms of all the social encounters and the route we went, like we went on the most optimal, efficient path. I feel like.
You absolutely did. And at the end, I will show you. This is the most repurposed map because I will show you all the creatures that you did not encounter that got repurposed later. So which is pretty. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
This session could have been like 3 times. This dungeon could have been 3 times as long then.
It could have, yeah.
You guys, I am going to bow out. Y'all please enjoy your time. I haven't slept in like 2 days from
Baby
the
has
baby.
regressed horribly
Oh,
lately.
no.
Not sleeping.
So I'm going to try to get a couple hours of sleep before she wakes up again.
All right.
Okay.
Before you go, Heather, would you like to put a favorite moment in the record books?
Oh God. I think my favorite moment is the where I basically called Ramael a demon in front of his army.
Outside the sunken temple when you
Yep.
guys came out. Yeah.
Yep.
The first big social encounter, I think, with Ramael. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
All
I'd
right.
say that was my favorite.
All right. Very cool.
I like it.
Well, thank you, Heather.
Good night, hon.
I hope you get some sleep.
Yeah, hopefully. God.
I'm gonna take my like 2.5 hours. If she stays to her pattern, I'm gonna take my 2.5 hours and be happy with it.
Right.
I see that face right
Yeah.
Baby's been awful.
what my other half is doing right now. is
That's some
putting her back
Yeah.
serious
Ah.
9-month sleep regression here. It's been real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have another poll, Eric? Or yes, we still got time.
Oh yeah. So the bad thing is it pauses my timer anytime I switch to a different window, but
I
it doesn't
feel like
pause
it's
it.
been-
It just doesn't show it.
uh,
We're 2 minutes, but yeah, I can go and do one if we're at a good spot.
I can move a little bit farther.
Okay.
You guys encountered down here. You guys encountered the plant people, the limpets, which is like just coral mushroom people with no faces that attacked you, and they were also being controlled by the Celestial. And that led into the bigger portion of this fight, which was the Chaos Beast,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which actually, you know what? I haven't been doing that, so I was gonna do.
Yeah, you really had a boss fight at the end of like all these dungeons, didn't you?
I did.
Nice.
Replay the sound of each monster. Yeah, the Chaos Beast, which you guys end up running from. You guys did not end up actually fully fighting.
That's right. I don't think you wanted us to do that initially either. We spent.
Yeah.
I think you hyped it up so much that we're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and the Chaos Beast was going to, like, when he attacks you, he was going to, like, when he touches you, he's going to force you to roll on the Chaos Magic table. So it's going to be like this.
I think
Forced, like, use of it a lot.
instead, you know what the mindset was, instead of us going into a boss room to fight a boss, it felt like we were just in the middle of this dungeon and this massive creature showed up. So that changed, at least in my mind, to like, oh, this isn't a boss fight. This is a classic scenario where you have to run. It's a chase sequence.
Yeah.
And so we all got into that mindset of like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And I think we just like dove into this nearby cave.
Yep, you did. You dove down into this cave down here. I don't believe over here is where the limpets. These are just copies. There weren't more limpets over here. You killed most of them. But that's where if you hadn't encountered them there, that's where the limpets lived. Were over here, to the east. But I believe you guys just waited for the Chaos Beast to leave. Oh, and this was my other favorite moment in the Twisted Caverns. Gillian just becoming an abomination.
Oh, she had all the nasty mutant things.
She had eye stalks, and she had her arms where her legs should be.
Oh, that one was fucking crazy. Arms and legs rearranged.
It's a series of physical traits that just shifted on her, and it was just, at the end of it, she was horrific.
Yep. Yeah, meanwhile, Tim got to be this glitter god of hovering, just spewing glitter everywhere.
Right, he was hovering.
She's just a mutant abomination. Damn it, forgot to shut the timer off. Alright, we are ready for the giveaway.
Alright.
Hopefully I got my poll fixed. Let's see, so... Counters... Okay, so this one is a not a true or false one. This one is just an opinion, which is, what was your favorite dungeon of all the dungeons that we've been going over and some that we haven't hit yet? So please vote in the poll. Again, you guys probably know the drill by now, but make sure you vote. So your options are the Verdant Spire, which was that first area. The Twisted Caverns, which is the one we're going through now. The Under Manor, which was the almost no combat in there, but it was a lot of sneaking around with the security system and the enormous fairy dragon boss. We had a mini tries to get inside. The Demon Gate, which was the lava curtain dungeon that we had to save the werebears from. And of course the World Ender, which is the inside of the gargantuan Godzilla-sized beast we had to explore in. So please vote for Spire, Caverns, Manor, Demon, or World, which pertain to all of those different dungeons. And I tried to, by the way, use the literal term of dungeons to mean an interior space that we explored. So I did not even include...
I'm saying you're missing probably my second favorite of all of them, but that definition, which was Summit Island.
Summit Island, yeah, I did like Summit Island, but technically I didn't. Yeah, when I really thought, first of all, I tried to get 5 for all of these. But I was like, if I'm really thinking of dungeons, then Mariner's Grove doesn't count, and Summit Island doesn't count for those.
Right. Because they're more open.
Oh, everybody loves the World Ender. Not surprising. Not surprising there.
Great.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And as I mentioned, if you've already won, then you cannot win again, except for the grand prize at the end. But do please vote for funsies.
From there, I believe you guys just went straight to the boss fight. After the Chaos Beast passed, you guys came over here, and then over here, and then went north to where you fought the Radiant Idol, the spinning rings of fiery doom. Which, this boss fight went off the rails.
This was the water one, right?
Yes. This is the one that you guys started using crazy, weird water tactics. I didn't know how to rule it, and the whole fight just got real, like trigonometry real quick. You guys raised the water level at one point of the whole area to like cover the idol, so it was like dousing the flames. He was a really like dangerous.
This is the one that you had to make a lot of like seat of your pants. I think was Raymond controlling Tim in this fight? Because there was some where you were like, was it not this one?
Yes, I think it was this one.
I thought it was this one.
Yeah.
Where you were like, I've got all these water spells to use. Yeah.
Right.
And Raymond was like, what about if I just did, and he Raymonded the shit out of your character and was like,
yeah.
What if I used water to douse these? And then Chris was like, okay. And you came up with a bunch of rules on the fly.
Yeah.
And it ended up just doing terrible things to your boss fight in our favor.
Everyone was underwater briefly. It was all very confusing for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I guess if Reese doesn't remember this, then yeah, I guess I did that.
I'm remembering this now.
You don't remember it either, apparently.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to increase the water level, and we would just kind of slide through the ring.
That's right. Yeah,
Right.
we were in a bunch of water. Yeah. But you end up having all these extra rules for like how the water affected the beast.
Yep.
By the way, the winner of the poll, obviously the World Ender.
By
People-
what rating?
By 80, what is it? Some percent.
Okay.
I should say in a second, but that's insane. It got
And
10
yes-
out of like 12 votes.
Okay. Nice.
Fan favorite, the World Ender. 83%.
Yep.
People like the World Ender.
So, and I'll show you all the things that we repurposed for later use. So, you guys, you guys never actually saw it, but there was an ooze creature that was living here that ended up being in the World Ender later. Tim, you remember these guys? These guys originally lived in the Twisted Caverns.
Oh yeah.
But once you guys never even went over to this entire side of the map.
You made such a big babs.
I know, it's such a big map.
Savata Beavers. Savata Beavers, you are the winner of this giveaway.
Congratulations.
Please let me know. Reach out via email, Discord, or Twitter. And I can send you whichever of these that you want. But please let me know ASAP which one that you want so that I can take that out of the pool.
And then there was a whole fiend camp in the northeast side of this one that I repurposed the hell out of. You guys remember these guys from Summit Island?
Yep.
The Orthans, the brass
Crazy.
crossbow magic wielder dudes. There was a troop of those being led by one of these ladies, which would later be repurposed as guards in the Fiend Gate.
You had all this shit in this dungeon? You are a nut.
Well, once again, this was during that phase where we didn't really understand the pacing. I was like, all right, they'll do all of this in like 2 or 3 sessions. And finally, hidden in this little passageway are 2 little cricket creatures called Horax. And I know some of you remember that those showed up in a certain stomach later on. So all of those creatures, since you guys did not encounter them in the Twisted Caverns, I was able to repurpose them later on in the campaign.
Wow.
But having freed the slot...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I had no idea you had all that in here.
Yep. It's a big map. It's a big map with a lot of stuff. After you guys freed the Slod, you started your trek to the Summit Islands. Over a variety of islands, you traveled. You encountered coconut people and I don't know what else. And right before you get to Summit Island...
The shark fight.
Another fight that Tim fucking shut down.
This is the one where Raymond's like, hey, I used a lot of water in the last fight to like shut down the boss. And he's just like, water, you say?
Yeah.
And I believe what happened is that this demon shark with all his mind controlled shark buddies swam up on you, and Tim was just like, whirlpool. And the demon shark could never get out of it.
Good use of it.
So you guys just rode away. And then he got like one discharge of water off against you before you guys rode away. But otherwise, this fight didn't actually amount to a whole lot. And then you guys landed on Summit Island, which this was the world map for that island. You guys started down here at the landing, where you were ambushed by Orthans. I can show you it. In fact,
Sweet down to normal size maps. I gotta say, man, if I had one complaint about this campaign, it was that those Marinus Grove, like some of those were just huge ass maps.
well, that was the learning curve. Is that those first two were built before I realized that was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started breaking up the big ones.
To be fair, though, we did run into that problem where Roll20 even admitted that, like, we created a bunch of problems
Yes.
on our back end. It fucked up people's games, slowed things down. So I think it just
Yes.
exacerbated.
Very much so, yeah. But yes, you guys came upon a beach where Orthans were prepared for you. These little yellow squares were where they put down mines, waiting for you to come up, and the mines would explode. I believe Gillian mind controlled the Orthans into walking into their own mines.
That was cool. Very cool use of that.
And then one of them ran away, which I believe Caitlin and somebody else. I don't remember who went with you. Somebody went with you.
I think
Gillian.
I think yeah,
Carly.
Kaylin and Gillian ran after.
Yes. While Tim,
One of
Scarlett, and Kethra interrogated another one of them, trying
That's
to
right.
figure out who was on the island. After that, you guys I believe using your ranger ability, you identified the like one humanoid that was on this island, which is the Lionin.
This was like the only time that I remember using the ability that might have really changed things around in terms of
Yeah.
like, oh, we need to go this direction, and we found like this hidden village. I remember talking about it in chat where you're like, you guys would have gone to the village otherwise, seen that it was, you know, filled with undead and destroyed, and then met the guy there, and that would have taken you to the village. But instead, we got to do the NPC meetup first, and then split the
right.
party, and so it really changed the dynamic of how
It
things
did.
worked because of that
Absolutely
information.
Yep. Yeah, so you guys using your ranger tracking, you followed to this illusory village that was just an illusion spells hiding it. You figured that out. You came into the village. You met all of these folks, who were the only survivors from the destroyed village, and they gave you your dungeon quest, which was get all the markings you needed, all the symbols you needed to get into the temple, and then get into the temple. And this is where the fun started, because this is where you guys split up. You guys had 1, 2, 3, 4 spots you had to go to. Waterfall, the ruined village, the pond, and the volcano. You guys first went. This has got an auto music thing on it. You guys first went to the waterfall. I'll forever only really remember this session because this is the session where Eric was extremely drunk.
God damn it. Or my computer just completely crapped out on me, and I was on Heather's computer with like the
Yes.
bare minimum setup. Yeah. I was so
You were-
freaking frustrated and pissed off.
You were
Just
washing your sorrows
Drinking
away.
myself into a rage. But the show must go on.
That's right. So what existed here? I don't know if you guys can't really see them all, but because they're all assigned to you, was a puzzle. Where you guys each had a different clue about a different colored orb and about where that orb went in the semicircle above you. And you figured it out, and you got your first symbol here, the 5 slashes, or what was it? This is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slashes symbol. And you met the Moondog, the celestial that was your first clue, I believe. The Moondog was your first clue that something may not be on the up and up with this celestial fiend war that was going on here in Anonymous. He didn't think Ramaniel was entirely being truthful about his intentions. Then you guys split up.
Right.
Some of you went to the ruined village, where you fought a bunch of ghosts. It was basically, I think for the most part, it was basically one pretty big combat encounter between Tim, and Scarlet.
How stressful is this to run a common encounter completely split up between just half the party and the other half, which is me and I think Raymond, just doing a social encounter with this married thing?
That's
It's
right.
stressful enough for the players not having everyone in the party.
That's
but-
yeah.
right.
Like, oh, this is going to be a lot more challenging.
Yes, that's basically it. Is that this whole village is filled with ghosts, and if all 5 of you were there, maybe all the ghosts would have come at once. But I was like, oh shit, only 2 of them are there. Now, in hindsight, it is literally the 2 best people. If you're gonna fight an army of ghosts, your paladin and your cleric are your best bets.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe for the most part, you guys did pretty good. You guys were turning them with your like cleric stuff and divine smiting them left and right. I believe this aura is your like holy aura, where like the ghost leeches are flying around and doing damage to everybody.
All right. Yeah, there's so many spells that I have that I was like, man, this would be really cool, but I just never end up using them or use them once or something.
Exactly. They come in like one time.
Yeah. So I see a chat was saying that this session was also the birth of the Swamp Witch.
Yes, never forget.
With love.
Gillian's not here. She can't control what she sounds like. Yeah.
He tried though.
Yep.
Did I?
You guys did not take advantage of the fact that, which I mean, you didn't need to really. Up here is a passage that literally connects the pond to the ruined village. You can go straight through the mountains.
Wow.
To connect the 2.
Huh.
Some of you were at that pond.
I'm going to start a new
Oh yeah, go for it.
poll, even though we still have minutes left, but I realize that if we want to get this done anytime soon, I need to get through these polls a little bit faster, similar to your pacing for this entire campaign, ironically.
All right, as we go, the numbers get shorter.
Indeed, funny how that works. So the next one is, I'm actually going to skip this one. We're going to go to... yeah, we'll do this one. What was everybody's favorite boss fight? And the options that I narrowed it down to, and you may disagree about my choices, but hopefully. The Radiant Idol was the one at the Twisted Caverns. The Amnesu, in fact, they're all ones we still have to cover. Amnesu and Merilith, which I think were the bosses of Summit Island.
Yep.
The Enlarged Fairy Dragon, who was the boss at the end of the Under Manor. The Pit Fiend, which I think is the boss at the end of the Demon Gate. The
Yes.
Pit Fiend.
Yep.
And, of course, the final boss fight of Irathon and Ramael. Those are your choices. Please vote for Idol, Amnesu, Fairy, Fiend, or Final.
Final.
Are your boss choices. Favorite boss fight.
I agree with all those. You covered most of them.
Yeah, when you were recapping some of the other ones, I was like, oh, and I was like, oh yeah, we didn't really fight the Chaos Beast, and the Verdant
Right.
Spire boss we kind of like nuked pretty early on, so it was weird because a lot of the biggest fights weren't like, it was like the Aranese fight was like the guards outside of the T. Is like, I was trying to remember, all right, which ones were the actual like big ones that were different from the ones that were a big fight but weren't necessarily a boss fight.
Yeah. Here at the Merit could have been a big boss fight if you guys had played it different, which this is probably the one that went as completely different from my expectation as possible. Because he's got his fish, he's got these kelp eels that will like wrap around you and drag you into the water to drown you. It's a very bad situation. You guys didn't encounter any of that shit because you pretended to be masseuses.
As you do.
There were not many opportunities to use my skills.
Yes,
Right.
he was chomping at the bit.
I don't remember the name of it, but the ones where you could, study people and become like them, or where you have your own sort of costumes and identities made.
Oh, right. Yes.
Like you were going to give me like 3 identities I could have.
Yeah.
And then anything more cost like gold or something to establish.
Yeah.
There was nothing in
there was very little like
very
opportunities
little.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This was one of them, to pretend you were a masseuse. And
oh, okay, I think it's because you mentioned he had jewels on him.
That's right. You guys weren't going to go in there at first. You guys were going to try to like stay out and let Styx go in the water and find the symbol under the water. But when you saw that he had magic items or jewels on him, you wanted him.
And masseuse was the only I could think of that could get hands on. So we became.
And the Mare Lord just happened to be extremely vainglorious and like he thought of himself as a king over his little pawn. So he was, if someone wanted to masseuse him, he was going to let him.
Masseuse him.
I believe you rolled lantern oil on him.
I really enjoyed rolling against Kaylin. To convince.
To convince. Yeah.
I rolled a deception or whatever on you.
Let the dice decide.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, the winner of the boss fight poll was the final battle. Chris went all out for this battle. All the flipping of the zones that we were in, it was absolutely incredible. So I agree with the fans that the final boss battle was just almost not fair that I put it on the poll, but it was a boss battle. So
nice.
Very, very good. And let's see, the winner for that one is Matt Schwark. Matt Schwark, you have won this round for the giveaway. Please reach out to me via email, Twitter, or Discord. Let me know which of the fabulous prizes you would like. My autocorrect tried to make it Schwarzkopf. That's not right.
Dorman Norman.
That's right.
Why is my image slideshow not working? It's not
good. Even I'm realizing it's 9:30. We're halfway through the campaign. I gotta speed this up.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Hey, real fast. Remember when we were supposed to end at 11:30?
Remember those days?
Yeah.
No, not really.
No? Oh, okay.
I can't say shit because Tomb, like the last couple sessions,
yeah.
It was like you guys were lucky to get up by.
Yes.
You guys were lucky to get up by midnight.
I think that died somewhere during Storm Kings, I think, but who knows?
Yeah, hard and fast stop point.
Volcano
sleep?
was. That's right. Volcano was basically.
My wife really needs sleep. Seriously, though, she really needs sleep. Please, God, let this baby sleep.
The volcano was not really a boss fight. It was a fight with this creature. It was more of an environmental hazard. It was basically a puzzle. Like, how do you guys get to the top of this volcano without dying? Which Tim couldn't even climb.
I don't know. What was the answer?
You fly up, or you be Gillian and just have athletics checks that just let you hop up.
I almost died, so.
You almost died just climbing gravel.
My pride.
Yep.
My pride.
I think Gillian just like do.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But yeah, you just had to. All you had to do was release the keeper of the volcano, which was the lava keeper here, from his imprisonment under the rubble. And I believe Gillian just handled that kind of all by herself. She just hopped up to the top of the volcano, animated the boulders, and moved him out of the way.
That's twice you animated like rocks for the win. That was a good go-to.
Yep. Then you guys got to the sunken temple, which you guys didn't know was sunken when you first arrived. You thought it was going to be a full temple you were going to.
Mm-hmm.
But it was sunken into the water. And I'll show you the actual template. You had an entrance gate that had all these symbols on them. And the clue was, I forget who figured it out. Somebody figured it out pretty quickly. The clue was that you had to count down the symbols, which was part of like the rhyme that they gave you when you first got here. And somebody realized that you guys had each gotten a symbol with a different number of slash marks in it. One with 5 slash marks, one with 4.
That definitely was not me.
Not me either. Yeah, I was completely lost on that.
Up here at the top, you see the actual answer. It was the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and these are the symbols that you had gotten over the course of the adventure. So pressing them in that order got you in to the sunken temple, which essentially was not even really an area, except it was the boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I move to it, as you can see, There's a whole lot of dungeon here that I just closed off. Like, I'm not using any of this. I'm just using like you guys came in down here. Your only path was to go east and then go north
It's a cool
to
looking
see
map.
where the creator died at, which was where he was trying to like make Irathon and Ramael citizens. This is where they turned on him, killed him. This was the illusion of the creator, the like dead man's what's it called? Dead man's
Switch.
switch for when one of the 3 advisors came close enough to the body. And he gave you a little exposition about where you need to go next, which was the Ender Manor. And Irathon shows up again. He's under GM layer to introduce another boss fight, which was where is the Amnesu? He's not on here anymore.
We killed him.
You must have like dismissed him or something.
This is the one where Tim slumber rugged one of the bosses after the first round. And we still had a hell of a time. What is that? It's a Merilith, which is a
Merilith, yes,
like a 6-armed. It looks like a
Naga lady,
Naga type thing.
Yeah, when you're talking about how the creatures would use our magic items before we use them, I was like, oh yeah, that lady never got to use a rusty blade.
Right, she had that and the Hellfire crossbow. I think I took that from her.
She had both. Yes,
both of those.
Yeah.
She never got to use it.
Just slumber rugged her.
Which, that's the Rust Blade. I was specifically going to use it against you because it lowers your AC. If you stab someone with metal armor on, you can rust the armor and like get a -1 or
permanently lowers AC.
Yeah. It, like, rusts armor
yeah.
I was excited about like, oh, this is fucking scary. And she never got to do it.
I still feel like this was a tough fight just with that one guy who nuked me pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you guys had an
Which is
interesting
nuts.
trajectory on this fight where you shut down one, but let one go hog wild in the north.
Yeah.
The Amnesu got to deal with Kalen by himself for a little while, and he fucking murdered Kalen.
I'm not sure how. Did they get a surprise round or something? Like, how did that even end up happening?
I think a surprise round.
Yeah.
But then, no, what happened is you wanted to go north, Kalen. You wanted to go and see,
I remember
where
that.
he was. And you happened to pass by him, and a reaction is what did all that damage
Yeah.
to you. He had his just disruptive touch.
Had the touch.
Yep. And you were not in view of anybody else. So you were sort of by yourself with him up there in the north section.
I
Oh,
think
here
that
he
was
is.
my-
He's just
one time I
not. He's
went
just
down.
not very big. He's here, right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been the first time anybody went down. Was me going down there? Maybe
Me.
that down
I
somewhere.
don't remember all the instances, but yeah, that might have been. But having beaten them and taken their magic items they never got to use.
Yeah, that was the first time we went down. Was session 21 versus the.
Okay. Nice.
We almost made the lingering injury save every single time except at the very end. Scarlet, second time she went down, she did get the head trauma.
Right. Oh, that's right. It didn't end up mattering because it was a head trauma.
Yeah. Head traumas don't matter.
That's
Who uses intelligence checks?
Yeah, not Scarlet.
This is, I can take all these guys off GM layer. This is where you guys came out of the Sunken Temple and had your big, which was Heather's favorite moment.
Yes, that's right.
The big social encounter with
First
where
meeting.
you were, which this was literally like you guys could not have won this fight. There's
Yeah.
like a 0% chance you guys would have won this if you had fought. But the idea was you would recognize Moondog was with them and that he had his plan, or he knew that like demons were coming around this way, which you guys didn't know he was going to do that, but that he needed to buy time. So Scarlet started just berating Rabael for like a solid couple minutes.
I like the way you had the villains, and you did a good job with this in Storm Kings also, of being able to interact with the villains basically throughout the campaign, having them be an actual force, because so many of the, and it's obviously written by you, so many of the campaigns as written are the classic, like, you never interact with a big bad until you just show up at the boss chamber in the dungeon, and there's no context there, there's barely a villainous monologue, and you just lose so much.
Right.
And it's a tricky thing to do in D&D, because how do you have that thing show up and not have your players into a fight, or how do you work around that?
There's only two ways. One is illusions,
Yeah.
and the other one's frame it around a fight that you can't win.
Yeah.
Those are like the only ways that I could think of to
Yep.
actually ever do that. This was the second.
Which works.
Yes.
Certainly works.
So, and my intention with all of this was that you guys wouldn't know who the big bad was. Like you keep saying this, the Angel General and this Fiend General, and they keep talking to you, and you don't know, like, am I gonna have to side with one of these? Which one is gonna end up being the big bad? And so I wanted the surprise to be like, oh wait, no, they're both the big bad.
Yeah,
they're
true.
They're cumulatively the big bad.
That was a neat idea.
Yeah.
This is also, I think, when the Moondog first said, like, hey, all of us Celestials aren't on the same page.
Yes. You guys had to fight one very, very powered up Planetar. He had like an AoE ability every time he got hit that was not in the stat block. It was just...
That's right. I guess we had there's another boss fight here, wasn't there? You threw at us. Yeah, we were all drained because we hadn't, I think, rested after the other one.
It's only one creature. He doesn't have any legendary actions or anything, but he has that like reaction thing where if you hit him, he emits fire out of him. And that made it pretty tough, even though it's just one. But yeah, so you beat him. Moondog told you you need to find proof that Ramael's not on the up and up. And with that, you left.
On the turtle.
On the turtle, which all the people were there.
We had another brief shark encounter.
Yes, another brief shark encounter. That's because I couldn't let my devil shark go completely wasted. I had to like bring him back a little bit. I believe you guys just handled him pretty easily when he came back. It wasn't even that much of a encounter.
I had a rematch with the mountain.
That's right. She scaled that turtle.
Kept falling down. This is also a case where you're like, okay, I need to like teleport you guys to the next area. Like, we're not going to do any traveling montages. Yes, it's like you guys are on a turtle and you make it to the entrance of the next dungeon.
Exactly.
Like,
this is awesome. Where travel stopped. Yeah, exactly. It has to happen in every campaign at some point. You guys on the turtle traveled to... This is another big map, but this one's actually trimmed down quite a bit from the Mad Mage map it originally was.
Right, the one with the little castle.
Yes. So you guys came in down here. By the way, you skipped a magic item. There was a basilisk that was himself turned to stone. There was I forget if it was a gem or it was some reflective thing that could reflect spells back inside of the basilisk if you had broken that statue. But you didn't do it.
Who the fuck would think to do that?
I don't know. That's actually a holdover from Mad Mage, by the way. That's like built into the map. You guys came to the crystal room. Nothing in here. The giant eats these crystals for meals. That's it. Then you guys went north up here to the Abishai fight.
This was my favorite fight.
Yeah.
Because I had the insane strategy where I got to banish their most powerful user, but I had to maintain concentration. So I had to run around like a madman and use all of my little tricksy stealth and run abilities and employ things that I'd never had to use before because I was just basically auto-attacking most fights.
Right.
And I was using like dash as a bonus action and go invisible when you're in darkness and all this shit just so I could not get attacked and lose concentration so I could keep that one locked down.
Trying to hold one of them as it was coming at you.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of like real strategy.
There was some there's a lot of tactics going on in this fight. Yeah. These guys are pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of the slot where we just had different versions of these creatures that all had different powers, and we had. And a big thing about this campaign is, we played a lot of D&D now, but we couldn't meta knowledge most of the shit in here because we've never seen most of these creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So we just had no idea what this shit was capable of.
Yep.
But yeah, I enjoyed that. What that ended up being, which was me banishing about halfway through the fight, it felt like.
Which it's this guy, the blue one. The blue one was a spellcaster. And he's the one Which he was the most dangerous one. He was the big spellcaster of the group. Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty good fight. You guys saved the giant from them. And she escorted you onward over here with this angel stuffs later. But she escorted you down here to the Undermanor. which went hilariously because I didn't know I was doing this, but I set you guys on like 3x speed.
You're like, you've got 1 hour or something. We're like, oh shit, we have to open all the doors immediately.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what was gonna happen. But yeah, you guys came in here, and I believe after coming in, somebody immediately went in this middle area where what is her name? Mistrivin. Mistrivin, the fairy dragon, enlarged, was reigning over this undermanor. And yes, I believe it was Kevin was pretending to be like a property agent. I forget what this. There was some lie involved here too. But however you guys
sales trade person,
sales,
whatever.
yeah. You guys convinced her to give you an hour to find what you were looking for, and then you would like leave the whole house to her. So you started opening every single door in rapid succession. You opened over here.
So many. We just didn't interact with most of the shit either.
A lot of it's just for fun.
Yeah.
Well, so this is the major map where if you look at it, you can tell where I cut it off for time.
Mm-hmm.
There's rooms on each of the corners that you can see are just closed off. I put a wall there. Just those rooms don't exist. But really, you guys did skip which is kind of fun, the clay oven where you could make any animated object you want out of clay and animate it using the oven. That's how the clay golem was there. But you guys were in a hurry, so you're just like, oh yeah, I see clay, I see an oven, we're moving on. The big thing that happened on this floor is that Tim met
oh yeah, the homunculus.
The little homunculus.
Also a case where Tim was separated and went to his own excursions.
Yes, true. Tim met the homunculus, got his aid. He also got a magic item up here from the mirror. I believe it was the monocle.
Yep.
We are ready for another poll. If I can squeeze it in.
Go for it. Yep.
All right.
Level.
This is a really fun poll that I thought was a neat idea. But this one is, which NPC had the best voice by Chris? So what was your best Chris-voiced NPC? The options that I chose were Rykresh, the Kikimora. I can't even read my own thing. Hang on. Telluri, Ramael, and Lord Lucius. Were you saying?
I think he needs to do them again just to refresh everybody.
That's right. Yeah, give us a Kikimora real quick.
I don't remember the Kikimora. What was the Kikimora's voice? I
remember liking it a lot. It was only in that one session. So vote Rykresh, Kikimora, Telluri, Ramael, or Lucius for your favorite voiced NPC.
Lucius sounded even better in my head, by the way. I practiced that voice, and then halfway through the session, I realized, oh shit, my mic isn't picking up when I just rasp things.
That's true.
Like I was trying to like start with like just air coming out of his throat, sort of as how he started sentences. Mike wasn't picking that up.
Yeah, so those are the ones that I picked. I don't know how everybody feels about.
I can't remember any of them, so if you guys have any ideas, but
there might have been favorites that I missed, but
yeah. Second floor, bunch of shit. You guys skipped like a legendary item here. In this wardrobe down here in 24. You guys can't see the numbers, but down here in the wardrobe, there is in that chest. There's a big drawer with a magical trap on it, very deadly magical trap. But there's like the creator's like robes are in there with like a fly speed and a couple other abilities. It was a very powerful magical item. But I believe you guys skipped right down to the control panel for the place.
Yeah.
Where you started off good. You like turned off the security, you turned on some music, but then you had to press the roof button.
Which we didn't know was the boss fight.
Which was literally, I mean, it was the boss fight button.
Yeah.
There was a lot of buttons.
There were a lot of buttons.
It was a high pressure situation.
I made a choice.
Wasn't there a button that said "Don't press"? I mean, you gotta give us credit for.
You did not.
Yeah,
press
we
the
didn't
don't
press that
button.
one.
Yes.
What happens?
The control panel vents electricity into the room.
Don't press that button. Why would there be a button that does that? Well, I guess in theory, Tim had the way to read all the words, right? So we wouldn't have known what all the buttons
monocle.
said.
Right.
But yeah, because
That's right.
he had that monocle.
Still,
That's a pretty weird trap to put in there. If they press this one button.
Yep.
The poll is very, very close, by the way, between Rykresh and Lord Lucius, but Rykresh did come out on top. Again, probably because we heard Rykresh the most.
The most. Even though his voice was so, like, inconsistent. It was whatever I could conjure up that evening.
I like Telluride, but unfortunately we didn't use Telluride as much towards the end, but
That's
the ones
true,
that we used
yeah.
Telluride won were golden.
Yeah, you had the boss fight where Mistravin, the fairy dragon, or who won and what
Pegleg Smitty, you are the winner of this round.
Nice.
Pegleg Smitty. So yeah, reach out to me via Twitter, Discord, or email. Let me know what you want. The ones that are left.
But yeah, you guys fought Mistravin, which the real power of Mistravin, which you guys quickly identified, was the giant creatures that she created by minimizing some natural creatures that existed there.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a spider that was regular sized and a bat that was regular sized, while you all were tiny.
Curse you, regular sized spider.
And I wanted to have a lot more fun with them. The bat, which I think the bat started to. The bat was going to carry somebody off for a little while. But I believe
it grabbed Kaylin.
It grabbed Kaylin. Yes, it did. But I believe one of them.
I think I Misty stepped out, or did Raymond save me somehow?
I turned into a ninja.
That's right. You polymorphed it and then caught me.
Yep. And I believe maybe Tim anti-magic the other one into small. I forget how you guys got rid of the spider. You guys didn't minimize.
Oh, right,
the
he anti-magicked, and that made his miniaturization turn off, which was
that's right.
Weird
so
for you to try
giant.
to fool.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I think it's the first time we ever saw it, right?
I think so.
He had like tiny hands and legs, and
that's right, because the anti-magic field wasn't big enough for his whole body.
Yeah, just imagine him just bumping up against the anti-magic field and shrinking and growing at all times.
Right.
It's gotta be weird.
Yep. Probably couldn't be handled by anybody but Tim. But after beating Mistravin, or you guys didn't beat Mistravin so much as you put her into submission. You like beat her up, and I believe Scarlet talked her down. You guys finished up the dungeon. You went back to the bedroom where you got the clue about how to find the orbs of remembrance. Then you went back to the library, the book room, where you found the particular book you need to find. And then you went in the secret room where you find the orbs that showed you that Ramael and Irathon were working together. So that was my big story beat. My big aha moment.
Yeah. That was good.
And as you all left, this is kind of pacing. I was probably gonna have more to this originally, but once again, we were running for time, so I just had the celestial thing wrap up immediately. You guys exited the Under Manor. The Moondog was right there with a pack of celestials. You guys were able to show the Moondog the evidence, which you picked up on immediately. Like, here's what you need to do: show him the evidence that Ramael's not, in allegiance with his gods. And the celestials went home. I believe you got the Moondog to go with you.
Oh yeah.
But then you went Then you went back to the Verdant Spire briefly and learn about basically what I consider at this point the end game content, like all the climactic stuff to happen, which is the final 3 areas. The first of which was to close the Fiend Gate, which involved 2 armies clashing, which was just all the tokens on this map. which you guys handled really well. I thought you guys all had different ways of getting past the armies, and
This felt cool. It was like a puzzle done as a giant fight. I thought this was pretty neat. And yeah, we did all have different ways of getting past.
Yeah, it was like different identities. People were turning into clouds, teleporting, invisibility, I think. And then you guys,
I turned into a demon, I think, and kind of
you turned into a demon.
Yeah.
Yes. And you guys got into the Fiend Gate, which was basically just a kill you as much as it can dungeon. You guys started down here at the bottom, where there was a trap that had lava flow down the alleyway, which I believe, I forget how you guys handled that. You just started teleporting and running past it. Except Kethra got overrun by it.
Yeah, kind of got in the face.
Then you guys went past the skulls, which you wisely did everything in your power, I know the Tim anti-magic field, to negate, because what those things do is emit a gas that makes you vulnerable to fire damage.
Video games have taught me, man, if you see the same thing on a linear, narrow walkway and they're facing each other, they're gonna hit you with something.
Yep.
I didn't know what it was gonna be, but it was gonna be not something good. It wasn't gonna be handshakes.
That's right. So you guys totally avoided that entirely. Did your best to get past the lava the first time. Got here in this middle area.
Was there a better way to get past the lava?
Nope.
Okay.
He didn't. He just throws problems at us. He doesn't have solutions.
You know what? At some point, Reese, I was like, okay, they're fucking level 18 or whatever you were at that point. They'll figure it out. Like, what?
Every door is lava now. Fuck you, players. I think we had that conversation in chat. We're like, how do we? And you're just like, every door is lava. That's how I'm balancing it.
Yep.
Great.
If you guys didn't have a way to figure it out, you had healing spells. You guys had. I trusted that you guys would figure a way to figure this out.
There was some inventive solutions by Kethra, I think, recalling, that involved.
Oh yes, the shield, the
tempering
the shield
things. Yeah.
Making an umbrella of bell ringers, I believe.
Yes, that's what it was. Like forging the bells together as a shield.
Yep.
And at one point using the bodies of one of the demons. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was
we had some solutions.
Yep. So in this middle area, you guys wisely avoided the pile of bodies, which was just straight up a monster, a pile of corpses that would have just rolled up on you. You guys wisely avoided that. You to the west here, you freed the werebears, which those were another thing where they would help you if you freed them, but there was no. I mean, you guys could have totally ignored them.
Chad is already bringing the bear puns, by the way, and I appreciate that.
Great.
That was a good. The most memorable part of this dungeon was probably the bear puns.
The bear puns. Yeah.
So many bears. You gleefully killed those bears in that next fight.
I sure did. Which was over
the
here
worst ways.
With the Erinyes, which ended up being one of the most deadly fights of the whole game.
Yes.
For whatever reason, just rolls.
4 of them, I think.
You auto-killed one. Kethra had like a...
That's right. We had the surprise round, and we used it, Kethra, on her super powerful assassinate, and murdered one of them. Yep. And still ended up being one of those harrowing fights that we fought all campaign.
Yep. They dumped a couple bears into lava, as you can see. Those bears are dead. Yeah, they dumped somebody else into lava. I can't remember who they dumped into lava, but they dumped one of you guys into it. And they just hacked you guys up for a while.
I guess they had those powerful arrows, and then one of them charged us, and maybe just the rolls worked in your favor. I'm not sure why, but it was...
I think initiative order worked in my favor, because after the surprise round, they went, like, next. So
okay, that sounds right.
Kethra was not able to get out of the way when they came down, so
yeah,
right up front.
That's right. I think they took her down pretty quick. That was like a cool, like, oh shit, we just took one down. Oh shit, they just took Kethra down. Yeah.
Yep.
So many crits that night. Yeah, that'll do it. I remember that being memorable just for being how freaking hard it was. And that was the guards before the boss.
Yep, exactly. Which was, I'm glad you guys had that experience, because the boss ended up not being that hard.
The boss famously fell on his ass when he charged us. The crit fail.
You guys had a good amount of time to set up for this boss fight, where you chose to like pull in the magic, the spellcaster of the two,
Yeah.
which is probably the wise decision.
Yeah.
And you murdered the hell out of him before the Pit Fiend ever had a chance.
Oh,
to do
right, because
anything.
you let Raymond loot the arrows that teleported. So we're like, all right, you
Yes.
teleport and then you teleport. We had the whole system set up.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference if players can tactically, plan what they're gonna do first.
Yeah. And then, of course, Balgramoth, the Pit Fiend, Lord of Hell, fell on his ass.
Critical fumbled and fell on his ass right in front of us. So we just went ham on him.
And you sure did. And that fight went pretty quickly after that. I believe. Yeah. Irathon and Ramaya had a little. I forget what they told you, but they had another little hey, we're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Cutscene.
Another little bonus monologue.
Yep. And then you guys found out where you needed to go to get the spell book. You would need to stop them, which was inside the World Ender.
Right.
Which started out at Orner's Tower, which was basically if anyone Googles I forget what the name of it is. If you just search Tarrasque Task, you'll get this adventure. That's what the something Tarrasque Task is the name of this particular adventure, and that's something I just pulled from that. Like the way you get into the Tarrasque is that somebody's just got a tower that's basically just a needle, a launching like ballista needle.
This is a really cool idea for a dungeon. Is like you have to go, and I liked that you teased it from early on in the campaign. You had this giant monster roaming around, and it would just, it was called Desert of the World Ender, and it was you teased the hell out of it because this giant monster, and then of course we were all like, okay, we're definitely gonna have to fuck around with that thing at some point. But I don't think any of us realized we had to go inside of the goddamn thing to retrieve an object.
Yes, right.
That was very neat. I didn't realize it was I thought it might have been a last like big dungeon combat encounter, but not a entire dungeon.
Not a dungeon, yeah. Yep.
And yes, chat at one point mentioned it was confusing because you see it from my point of view, so you're just seeing the labyrinthine thing. So when we show it, you'll be able to see how insane this map looks. Although, I think those of you that watch chat, you might have seen it on chat also, because I think we've been revealing maps towards the end of chat as well. Chat for the Lost Plane.
This one's also got an auto music. Let me turn that off.
Yeah, it's weird looking at it from a top-down point of view too, but
yes,
it is.
So you guys,
an insane dungeon.
Let me get rid of these tokens. They're not.
And somehow we did this dungeon in like 3 sessions.
That's actually the impressive part, is how quickly you guys did move through this.
Yeah. We've got time for another poll. Yeah. This is going to be our final poll. However, we're going to be doing a grand prize giveaway right at the end, which everybody can win, which will be just a part of the pool for everybody that voted, but only if you're here. So, final poll that I'll be giving is going to be your favorite moment of the campaign. And this one I kind of got from Chris, basically, because he narrowed them down for me, which I appreciate. But the options are, was it the electric slide that Tim went down in the Verdant Spire? Was it freeing Telluride the sword from the dragon in Marinus Grove? Was it Tim acting as the mushroom glitter god in the Twisted Caverns? Was it massaging the Merid in the Summit Island? Or what? God, Tim's on 3 of these. Was it Tim's disgusting journey through the World Ender? Please vote for either Slide, Telluride, Glitter, Merid, or Tim.
It's just Tim.
Even though Tim's actually 3 of those, but so many. What's funny is the other poll, the one I'm skipping in the interest of time, was who was voted the most MVPC. And obviously, pretty obvious based on the fact that Tim is in a lot of these moments, you can probably guess on who was the frequent MVPC of this campaign.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you all have guesses, I kind of just spoiled it, but
I honestly wouldn't have.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
It's not even close either.
Oh, okay.
It's not even fucking close. I can tell you the stats because that was one of my polls, but I'm skipping that one.
I would guess Scarlet was second. Well, I don't know. That's really hard to say. Yeah.
Yeah, good chance for people to win, because a lot of the people that are voting have already won once.
Right. While they're voting, yes, you guys came in through this needle down here. Yeah, as you can see, this whole map is very tight a lot of very narrow 5-foot wide hallways. So that's what they were saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to see from any one person's perspective. Some of you came down here to the stomach and got ambushed by a bunch of Huraks.
God, that was an awful fight, but you know,
That was
we only had like three of us.
Three of you.
And like Reese was saying before in the other situation where you're split up, like that makes it harder. But these guys were fucking nasty. Yeah. And that was Scarlet's second time she went down. That was
the thing is,
painful as
these
hell.
Huraks are glass cannons. They have almost no life, and they have very little AC. But they're intended to surprise you because they jump out of the acid. Like you guys don't know they're in the acid, and they're intended to drag you into the acid, which is a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
And the problem is they got to do a bunch of shit before you guys even got to go. That's awesome.
Yeah, so the poll was very close. Obviously, people only voted for the ones that Reese was in. It was very close between Tim's Disgusting Journey and the Mushroom Glitter God. I would probably give it to the Glitter God because I think that was hilarious.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, and Gillian's
the Roto-Rooter was funny, but it didn't really lead to much.
That's true.
Right.
I think it's the more recent one. I think that's what gave it some points.
Right.
Because it happened more recently, but I would definitely have voted for Mushroom Glitter God.
Just crawling down towards the sphincter of this world ender.
That's right.
But being hours away from getting to it.
But
it's funny.
The winner was the Tim's Disgusting Journey by just barely 50% versus 40.
Oh man.
Still smells to this day. Man, he's gonna be a stinky despot.
He really is.
Never washes off. The winner of our final giveaway is Corey. Corey, frequent DM roundtable participant.
Awesome.
You are the winner of the final giveaway. I think we only have 4 left, which is Eberronicon, Fired and Forgotten, Prophecies as Narrative Tools, and Archetypes of Eberron. So those 4. And then once we finish our recap, which will happen here shortly, we will do a grand prize giveaway, which is going to be a really cool package for everybody who's voted and is still live in the chat.
Yes, so you guys had the really tough fight, the stomach fight. Those in the right lung got injured, which this is another just little fact about this map. As you can tell now from looking at it, this was made by a series of artists working together. So each room looks a little different in art style. It's because a bunch of different people like came together and like drew different organs in the body. But those of you in the right lung got first introduced to the antibodies.
Okay, so that both lungs look completely different. So
completely different.
That's
yeah.
weird.
Why when I was first looking at this map, I thought the left lung, I thought that was the heart because it looks heart-like.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's
for sure.
It's the left lung.
And like the bottom right, that looks like lung stuff with green in there.
Right. Yes. Which I didn't use any of that. That's part of the 2 miles that you didn't go through, Tim, of the lower intestine.
Sorry, not that far down, but right above that.
Oh yeah. Whatever.
Holy crap! There's more to the lower intestines.
There is so much more to this map.
Yeah.
I cut the bottom half of this map off. All of the organs that you know of, you doctor people that you know of in the lower intestine, are all on this map. I just cut all that off.
What is trapped in that? What is that in the last organ?
I have no idea. I don't know. Okay. I stopped tracking them at some point.
Fascinating map.
I was like, I gotta cut this map literally in half. I'll only use the upper organs.
Wow.
This was definitely my favorite dungeon because it was the most unique, and the way that we split the party and explored pretty much all facets of this dungeon, but still in a decent time. And I loved the chase sequence you had at the end.
Right.
Where we had gone through this entire dungeon from north to south, and then you're like, now you got to haul ass from south to north while all these things are coming at you.
So, it was cool with the whole monster on that big antibody at the end, but was it actually even necessary if we're just hauling ass towards the mouth?
My imagination for that whole running away sequence is like a Super Mario 64 level where Bowser's like chasing you down a track and you're just running away from him the entire time, like jumping through the stuff. So yes, it was very helpful because if you hadn't, that giant antibody, I think it's the massive one, I think is what it's called, would have been just on your ass the entire time. And every time one of you got slowed down by some of the smaller ones in front of you, he would have been just on you. So yes,
it's kind of another boss fight that you shut down, although it turns out I guess the real boss was in fact the World Ender himself.
The World Ender himself, yes. Because you guys ran through this whole place, got out of here from
I did love Lord Lucius though. That was really fun NPC.
Yes. Yeah, oh yeah. The zombie.
The fact that he knew all the information and meanwhile the other team had already like, stumbled into all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go in there. Yeah. Don't go in that room. Like we're already halfway through like fighting in there.
Yep, and once you did, you got spit out. Honestly, this map was just me having a little bit of fun with you guys.
This was nuts. This was hilarious. I no idea.
So, like, I don't know, panics about what to do. But it's in combat still.
Yeah.
In each round, he's like eating one of us, basically.
Yep.
And it's the calling the cat was supposed to take 10 minutes or something?
A few minutes. So I was gonna do originally,
a round or two.
It was gonna be like maybe 3 or 4 rounds of like you guys have to survive against the World Ender as Rykresh comes in.
I was like, are we supposed to be attacking him? Are we can't really run? What is happening?
Yep, and that's exactly what I wanted. You guys panic. But I think what happened is you guys got ejected from the World Ender at about this time, about 12:10 your guys' time. I was like, oh shit, I gotta wrap this shit up. So I only had like 1 full round of the Tarrasque doing everything that I wanted him to do. Where he ate someone, he had his horns, he had his tail, I think his claws. And yes, it's supposed to be just a survive. You guys were never intended to actually fight the thing properly.
Just, survive a number of rounds.
Yep.
Which was very cinematic and cool, but we're all panicking, like, what is going on? He's got a 600-foot long tail. It's just coming this way.
If I had pushed to meet the World Ender sooner, what are the steps for you to take to prevent me from doing that?
Well, I don't know. The steps are I don't have the map built yet. The World Ender map is not created, so it's not going to happen. But you guys would not have been able to find Orner's tower. Maybe I would have let you get a glimpse of it in the distance. I did have the stat block, so if you had really gone off the rails and been like, no, we're going into the desert and we're going to fight that Tarrasque.
There was like a 25% chance I was just going to try to, I guess, derail everything for whatever reason.
And just head into the desert?
I don't know. For whatever reason, it's like, you can't do that, and it's just irritating. I understand why. I know at the time why, but it's like, no, I want to go. I want to see this now.
It's like showing you the apple. It's like, oh, here's the apple, but you can't have it right now. Putting it back on over here. You'll get it later.
I want that apple right now. It kills me.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I had the stat block. He would fucking destroy you. He would not even.
We got there, like 6 levels later or something. Yes. I'm still scared of this thing. So
right, yep. But you guys got away from him, back to Orner's Tower, where you leveled 20, and you went to the final fight. I'll leave the music on this time. And move them out of the way.
This was such a cool setup you had.
And I mean, this was never supposed to be a dungeon. It was just a boss fight. So this whole front southern area down here was just as you guys approach, you were seeing where you're in some sort of.
Remember, Yeah, I remember thinking like, are we supposed to be doing more stuff here? Because it seems really like streamlined. Like you're trying to get us further into this place. I was like, there seems to be much more to explore in these mirrors, but I guess not.
Yep, the mirrors were basically just foreshadowing for where you were going to get teleported later.
Okay.
That's basically what they were.
I was like, are we supposed to be going into these mirrors or something?
Right. Yeah. Nope, they're just showing you all the planes of existence that you
Yeah.
might get transported to.
That's cool.
But yeah, you guys got up into the fight. And this was just last session. But for the fun thing for this one is I'll show you some of the ones we had to skip for time. Because I had a whole slew of them planned as potential like next like planes. The first one was the Hell plane, and basically this was just the staff was basically out of Erathon's control. The staff was like spinning. She couldn't really control it. She was trying to, but it was just gonna start randomly teleporting you guys to different planes of existence until you guys won the fight. And the Hell plane was like fire damage, radiant damage wasn't gonna work. If you guys had tried to heal here, that would not have worked. The next one, I got these out of order. What was the next one? Oh, Beholder was the next one. And the Beholder was just at the beginning of everybody's turn, they get a Beholder ray on them. And I think this one only lasted for a few turns.
Yeah,
3 or
did
4.
the ray just was it always damage or was it random?
It was random. There was 10 of them.
Okay.
It was yeah.
I remember.
There was Charm, there was Disintegration, there was Death, which I think, Tim, you got Death Ray, but you had your anti-magic field up, so it just cascaded off of it.
I was trying so hard to get her.
Yeah, I know. To like counteract it, yep. And then after that was one that I skipped for time, which was a Death Swamp. And this one was just going to be, you guys were taking necrotic damage every turn, and you guys were going to barely be able to move. It was going to be like 4 times move speed to try to move. I partially skipped that because I saw that you guys weren't moving at all this entire fight, except Tim. The rest of you were just like, okay, we've engaged our enemies, and we're just going to stay put and fight them. So being overburdened by tar wasn't going to do much to you.
And we're getting damage every turn.
Yes, necrotic damage from that one. Yeah. The next one, which we did do, was Limbo, which that was just every turn that somebody started here, they just roll in the Chaos Magic table. I was disappointed with how that one turned out because the Chaos Magic always, like, it was like only 2 or 3 people, but it was just harmless sensory effects every time.
So, I forgot, are these the different planes of existence that exist in D&D?
Yes. That's the idea.
Okay.
And you're just traveling through them. You're getting teleported to them.
One of them is just a giant beholder.
Yes. Which, I mean, you're not going to find that. You're not going to find that in the books, but that's just me. It's like one of them is a beholder god. That's what the map's called, is beholder god.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think Kaylin got large size. Somebody got glow in the dark here. I forget. Somebody else got one other thing, but it was generally harmless. And you guys,
you kept waiting for some of those crazy or twisted things.
We never got the super bad one that I kept waiting. I think there's like 32 of them, and number 32 is a duplicate of the person is generated right next to them, and that duplicate's only goal is to kill their original.
Or you could shoot glitter out of your eyes.
Or you could shoot glitter out of your eyes.
That's fucking crazy.
So would that have worked in the anti-magic field?
No, you would have immediately. I think that might have been maybe why you didn't, or I think maybe just the timing didn't work out on you for that one. But your anti-magic field would have immediately dissipated that as magic. The next one we skipped was Celestial Realm, which I felt bad for both Tim and Scarlet, because Like, you guys were going to have, like, advantage here, and all radiant damage was going to be doubled or maxed, and healing was going to be maxed, and, you know, just all a bunch of good things for you guys. But you guys were already kicking their ass a little bit at this point, so I was like, we don't need to go there. And I think I was going to have both Kalen and Styx take damage here.
You bastard.
Because they're fiends, technically, or they're, like, half... I believe we also skipped this one, which was
the Cthulhu
just called
one, yeah.
Cthulhu. And this is going to be you're underwater, so you can't breathe.
Except for Gillian.
And except for Gillian, Gillian would have shined here.
And
But
Tim.
oh yeah, Tim doesn't breathe either. Yeah, but there's also a Cthulhu rising from below you that you would have had to make wisdom saves at the beginning of each of your turns to not have madness set in as Cthulhu rose from the depths.
Except I think Tim would just have sunk.
Probably just immediately.
He's gone forever.
Tim and Scarlet both would have probably just immediately just sunk down to the ground.
It played the music when you switched to this map.
Yeah, a lot of them have auto music on. Yep. And then the final one, the Void, which I know you were very curious, Reese, because you were asking a lot of questions. I'll tell you what the rules were. You still had to make attack rolls. Attack rolls were normal, but damage was just auto-maxed. Saving throws were auto-maxed. And I think that's it. Skill checks were auto-maxed, I think.
That took us a hot second to figure out, and we're like, what? Oh my
Yes.
god, this is sudden death mode.
Yep. And as I believe Eric pointed out later on, this very much was sudden death in Smash Bros.
Everybody's like at 300%.
Everyone's at 300%. Like everyone, yeah. Everybody's doing max damage. And you guys were already doing a lot of damage to them at this point.
I still didn't get it. I don't think at the
Yeah.
time.
And then I remember in chat, Chris was talking that Ramael had actually died before we got to this map. So he was just like, he's on a timer now.
So, yeah, you guys were kicking ass a little bit too much at the end there. I wasn't quite ready for it to end
Had
before
to
you guys
punch some hit points.
got to the Void. I mean, Gillian, Kethra, and Scarlet were all just laying into him. They were not... I kept expecting one of them to break off and go deal with the spellcaster.
I was like begging them, like, please. A demon with the staff.
But they were focused. They're going to power down that angel, and they sure did. They just
Thankfully,
powered
your
him
demon
down.
ended up being not that powerful because we kept making all the saves inexplicably.
Yeah. Yep.
It was such a cool setup, and then for some reason we just ended up rolling really well for all of these saves coming at us.
Indeed.
She'd like try to finger of death us a couple times, and
She rolled like that, but if she hadn't rolled like that,
For
that's the
example.
damage.
yeah,
Fucking 76 damage
And
there.
never
like, that's
hit with
her
that thing. That's
never
crazy.
Fucking hit. Yeah.
that's why nobody went after her except for me because I was the demon hunter. I was like, nah, we're gonna stick to this other
like,
guy.
oh, she's fine. She's not doing too much.
Yeah,
But once you guys got into the void, I was like, all right, now Ramael is up for grabs as far as killing. I believe immediately Gillian and Kether did like max damage attacks on him. And I was like, all right, just like let him live a little bit longer. And then when Scarlet attacked him, I was like, all right, fine. All three of them attacked him at this point. He can die.
you can now rest, sir.
You can now rest, Romeo. And at that point, I don't remember if Irathon was already like in the negatives. No, she wasn't. No, I didn't actually fudge her health points. She was just very low. And then Gillian had the coup de grace of the animated asteroids that just plowed through her, which is pretty great.
That was a cool ending. Yeah.
And that was it. For that, you guys were brought back to the Verdant Spire by Rykresh to reap your rewards and start your despotic regime, apparently.
Apparently.
We've learned the power corrupts.
Right. So that is it for the recap. Let's go through and do some favorite moments. Eric, what was your favorite moment of the campaign?
So, I have a favorite Oh my gosh. My favorite fight was the Abishai fight. My favorite dungeon was the World Ender dungeon. I don't know how I decide on a singular favorite moment. I mean, the finale blew me away with the amount of production you put into it and the sequence of events. With going through all different modes. I mean, it felt like a fucking JRPG, like final boss battle in all the right ways. So yeah, I mean, since you went with me first, and everybody's gonna try to take the finale, I guess I'll probably have to try to choose the finale as
All right.
the amazing moment.
All right. Rochelle, what was your favorite moment?
Because we already went through a lot of them, and my memory is really, really bad when it comes to these campaigns. But because Tim the Glitter God is the first one that came to my mind. That was just really
And you as
like
the
my thing too, because I was like a disfigured, like
Yes.
Picasso, like horrific.
You were gone at
thing.
the moment, but we did cover that. You turning into Abomination was one of
Was-
my personal
That
favorite
was-
moments.
yes, that was
pretty
certainly
That
part
was-
of it.
That was one of my
And it was
favorites.
happening at the same time. It was like Tim was just getting more like fabulous, and I was just getting more like grotesque with every
you
with
were
every
getting eye
spell.
stalks. Your legs were coming out of your head. It was all terrible.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's other ones, but that
Yep.
one was pretty good.
At least you
Those
didn't
are
get a
good.
duplicate that tried to murder you, apparently.
That's-
That could have been a thing.
Yeah.
Would it be freaky if it duplicated her as she was an
As-
abomination
as-
that appeared? Tried to murder
That would've
you.
been pretty funny.
Slapping you with feet and stuff.
What if it duplicated the original, and then we just prefer to keep the original?
Oh, yeah, let's just- let's
Obviously
just
kill the
let
abomination.
let the killer. We'll move on with this good one.
That was
Raymond.
messed up looking.
Right.
Probably the marriage moment. I know we keep saying it, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
the whole sequence and convincing Kaylin to massage him, and then
That was pretty good.
That was completely you led too. It was just
Yeah.
we are what were we, like oil merchants or something?
no,
Masseuses.
masseuses.
Oh, we were masseuses.
Yeah.
We convinced them to let us massage him while Gillian and Styx were digging around in the water.
Classic
Gillian was
Raymond
dancing.
con job.
Gillian was dancing. She was the entertainment. She
That's
wasn't
right.
there.
She wasn't there. We just
She
used her.
wasn't there.
Like I would have remembered this.
Yeah, you were not there for that.
You don't forget a thing like that.
But the other thing would probably be the grudge against Brihot. For some reason, I developed a grudge and tried to get him killed by volunteering for the Hell Gate, and that didn't work apparently.
Nope,
He-
you're not
he
being too
survived.
good.
He survived. Even stronger
Oh,
now.
Survived
Yeah,
till the
I don't
end.
remember why you had a grudge against him. You just didn't like him immediately.
Yeah, I think it's his voice. I think
Yeah.
annoying.
It did not make it to my
Alright.
nominees of best Chris voice. I'll say that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Reese.
I mean,
So many to choose from that he was a part of.
the Glitter God is still my favorite, just because every time I imagine Tim attacking is just with a mushroom hat and just emotionlessly just unhinging his jaw and shooting out glitter at his enemies, and then becoming the despot, and then having his stormtroopers with mushroom helmets and unhinging their
Modeled
jaws.
after that.
As he floats behind them. Their
floats
god.
behind them, smiting his enemies, taking over the world, and then being destroyed by Scarlet and her rebel army.
This is all the prequel to the real adventure.
That's right.
How's a bunch of level 20s are let loose on a plane?
That's basically what it's become.
We
Just
could become the gods.
The insanity of the Glitter God. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
How-
It's good.
How well that worked out was.
Yep.
And
That's
all
great.
just random tables from that Twisted
Yes.
Magic thing
Yes.
that just went that way.
Totally random.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Just having
Yeah.
the Slodge is like, yeah, we're with you. You're hilarious.
Yep. Totally worked. Man, as I think about it, Tim's had a hell of a journey.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. That'll segue into one of the few stats I didn't go over because I ended up skipping this poll in the interest of time. But inspiration earned, Tim was far and away the most common MVPC winner. It was actually very close between the 4 of us, like plus or minus 1, and then Tim is twice everybody else.
Wow.
So if there was a chart, it would be Tim, and then all 4 of the rest of us are
all
even
4 of you
Steven.
grouped together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is pretty nuts.
All right.
I think I went through everything else, though. Downed, we went through critical hits. I do have critical fumbles, if you're interested, from our end.
Yeah, because this is what I'll say as the GM thing. Don't do critical fumbles, folks. This is my
don't do what this DM does.
Not as a player or as a DM aficionado or a lover of the game. I think critical fumbles are super fun as all of that. I'm talking to you DMs out there. If you're gonna DM a game, if you're gonna DM a game, don't use critical fumbles.
I think at least one person said that to you when we were talking about doing critical. So. Like, don't do it. You're not gonna like it.
It fucks you a lot more than it fucks them.
Yeah,
that is what I will say about that.
To all you DMs out there, don't use critical fumbles. It's gonna fuck you in the ass.
The critical fumbles for the players. What is y'all's guess for the total critical fumbles we got as a party?
For us, not the DM.
Not the DM. I didn't track the DM. I just tracked us.
I don't. 6.
I'll put the over and under at like 10.5. So you want to get the under?
I was
gonna guess like a dozen, like maybe 12.
What about with the fudge factors? Are you counting fudge?
Where you guys rolled it, and then because I would say this, a lot of them you guys rolled a critical.
That's
fumble,
true.
And then immediately went, no, I'm gonna use inspiration.
I'm 90% sure I only counted it if we ended up rolling on the table.
Okay.
So it was a counted of a true crit fail that ended up taking. Chris, you fucking nailed it. 12. Which is scary. I don't think we ever went over that number, but yeah.
No.
And just about even across the board, give or take, like one.
Yeah.
Pretty even for everybody.
And I'm guessing I had twice that as a DM.
I didn't keep track, and I should have. Because
I'm guessing I had 25 to 30s.
Yeah. And you know what? You have less opportunity to change your rolls like we do.
That's true.
We had actually a lot of like luck points or inspiration or things we can do to not hit that, and the enemies typically don't have those abilities.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
I usually didn't care until it was a fucking boss fight.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Like, oh god damn it! My boss is gonna drop his weapon or fall on his ass.
All right, is it time?
Did you keep track of who got the critical fumbles? Who got the most?
For us, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty close. It's not a huge discrepancy, but Kaylin and Scarlett both got 3. Gillian and Kethra both got 1, and Tim had 2. That only equals 10. I screwed my numbers up somewhere.
I
win! My total says 12, but my individual number, I don't know where I screwed that up as. Well, I know I'm not that far off, but that's embarrassing.
I'm somewhere between 10 and 12.
Somewhere between 10 and 12.
I mean, the 12 might be...
That's for a recount.
It's 12-ish. You have to go back and watch the tapes. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Is it time for our final grand prize giveaway? For those of you that have stuck with us this long, I am going to roll for everybody that voted, winner or non-yet winner, for our grand prize giveaway, and I get to roll a 1d19. Almost a 20. It would have been really fun. And hopefully you're still in the chat. We will see is 11 is Garchomp. Where are you, Garchomp? I know I've seen you in the chat before. Garchomp, are you still with us? Winner, chicken dinner of the grand prize. Grand prize, Garchomp Chompers is the winner of the grand prize. The grand prize was provided by Anthony Joyce, one of the preeminent creators at the DM's Guild. And it is an incredible prize package. I'm going to have to like copy and paste what it includes here. Darkhold, Secrets of the Zentarum, Elminster's Candlekeep Companion, Weekend at Straws, The Blood Hunter, The Heir of Orcus, verse 1-4, Baldur's Gate, The Fall of Elturel, The Curse of Skull Island, The Little Astronaut, Kobolds of Unusual Size, and The Dreams of Prince Popo. Literally like a dozen different products as a grand prize, including some giant ones: Elminster's Candlekeep Companion and Darkhold Secrets of Zentarum. Huge 100+ page supplements. Some of my favorite products that I have reviewed. Super congratulations to that. Let's see if I can paste this in here. Be a wall of... No, it's too big. YouTube's like, that's too much.
It's too much.
Well, yeah. So please reach out to me via Twitter, Discord, email, and I will need to get your email, and I can set you up with these prizes. But that is a very cool grand prize giveaway. That was fun. Also, shout out to new patron Pythagoras joining the Patreon during the stream. Very cool as well. Does that bring an end to War for the Lost Plane officially?
Bring a complete end to War for the Lost Plane.
Redux.
All right, so normally I would announce my next campaign, but hopefully most of you already realize what I'm doing, as I've been announced it last year, months ago, and I've actually even started doing my weekly crafting streams for Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, and folks, we are starting that next week with Session 0. We are right now locking down our characters. I'm super excited that I have commissioned an artist to do original art drawings of our characters, which are really fun, really coming together, and I'm very excited about that. And
they're very good.
Yes, they're very, very good. It's been really fun. As a DM privilege, I'm able to see them all, but the players, I'm only letting them see the ones that they are getting. So in Session 0 will be a fun way of everybody revealing their characters as we introduce them. So that'll be next week, same time, same channel, Session 0, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. And then I am streaming on Thursdays doing Crafting Icewind Dale, which is just me making the campaign. And then once we start with Session 1, we will also be doing whatever we end up calling the Chat Icewind Dale session as a post-chat, similar to what we did for Chat with Lost Plane. So we're going full on into the new series, and we're very excited about that.
Right.
I think that's it.
Exciting stuff.
Exciting stuff. You want to end it, son?
I do. Let me end it, yes. For the last time.
The last time. Shut it down.
Down forever.
By the way, no chat tonight because we just did a whole fucking recap.
Yeah,
so there's not going to be any chat for the Lost Plane. We did that one
now.
last week, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to
So
do the
we
music
are-
and everything.
We are outie.
Thank you to Reese, Rochelle, Raymond, Heather, and Eric. And thank you to our wonderful fans for watching.
Thank you so much, DM, Chris, everybody. Clap your hands. Thank you very much, Chris. Wonderful campaign. Homebrewed, high level. Absolutely incredible. Go to
Very
roguewatson.com
exciting.
for recaps. Patreon.com/roguewatson if you would like to support the channel. Do not head on over to our post-session discussion because we will not be doing that. We will see you all next week. Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden.
See you then.
I gotta come up with some music. I don't have any music for that yet.
You do.